The sun shone dazzlingly on the campus playground, and dust billowed in the air, like countless mocking ghosts. Lin Fan gasped and wiped the sweat from his forehead. The basketball game just now was another disastrous defeat. Opposite him, Student Council President Ye Chen smiled condescendingly, his eyes full of contempt. Lin Fan, you are such a good-for-nothing, you really don't know how to advance or retreat. You always hold yourself back. No wonder a school beauty like Xin Yu is just a childhood sweetheart with you and will never look at you twice. The surrounding students burst into laughter, some whistled, and some clapped. Lin Fan gritted his teeth and clenched his fists until they turned white, and his heart was turbulent. I am just an ordinary high school student with mediocre grades and an idiot in sports. Why do I have to be stepped on every time? That girl Xin Yu clearly held my hand and said we wanted to explore together when we were young, but now she is always getting close to Ye Chen and the others. Damn it! He lowered his head and left the playground quickly, and suddenly his toes hit something hard, making a crisp, ding, sound. I bent down to pick it up and saw an old student card. The card was covered with dust, but it was engraved with a strange musical note pattern and was slightly twisted as if it were alive. Lin Fan's heart skipped a beat. Where did this thing come from? The card reader at the back entrance of the library? Curious, he stuffed it into his pocket, and Qin Feng's idea flashed through his mind. Brother Fan, there is a treasure hidden on campus. Do you dare to explore it? At the back door of the library, there were few people around, and the air was filled with the musty smell of old pages. Lin Fan accidentally took out his student card and swiped it on the sensor. Beep, a low buzzer sounded, not the usual, welcome, but the note on the card suddenly lit up with a faint blue light. The ground shook violently, and a hidden gap opened in the wall of the back door, revealing a dark staircase. There was a faint sound of wind whistling inside, mixed with a low echo, like the whisper of ancient music. Lin Fan's eyes widened and his heart beat wildly. What the hell is this? An illusion? But an inexplicable excitement surged into his heart. He swallowed, held his student card tightly, and stepped in. The passage behind the door closed instantly, and the world fell into a deathly darkness. Only the footsteps echoed. The air was damp and biting, and the nose was filled with the smell of earth and decaying stone, like the aging wine in a tomb. Calm down, Lin Fan, are you dreaming? He murmured to himself. The beam of his mobile phone's flashlight swayed, illuminating the densely packed runes on the wall. Those runes were winding and dancing like musical notes. The further down you go, the hotter and muggier the air becomes. There is a faint, tick-tock sound of water dripping down. The fear in your heart gradually rises. What if you can't get out? Ye Chen and his gang are still laughing at me outside. Will Xin Yu be worried? Qin Feng will definitely say that I am stupid. Suddenly, a sharp buzz erupted from the front. The wall at the end of the passage cracked, and invisible sound waves swept in like a violent wind, drilling directly into the eardrums. Lin Fan felt as if his head had been hit by a hammer, his ears were ringing, and his vision was distorted. The rocks on the ground cracked and bounced, slicing his arm. Blood slid down his skin, and a fishy sweet taste hit his nostrils. Ah! He screamed, staggered back, his back hit the wall, and his eyesight went black in pain. The sound waves became more and more intense, cutting the air like countless sharp blades, and the runes on the wall lit up red, as if they came alive and laughed at his ignorance. Lin Fan curled up on the ground, holding his head in his hands, and despair surged in his heart. It's over. What the hell is this place? I'm just going to die like this. Will Ye Chen smile more happily? Xin Yu, will she shed a tear for me? No, I can't just give up. He gritted his teeth and climbed up, groping forward. Every step was like stepping on the tip of a knife. The sound waves made his internal organs churn. Sweat mixed with blood dripped down, making a wet sound. Hold on. There must be an exit. Roaring in his heart, he squinted and stared ahead, and a faint green light flashed. What is that? In a groove, There is a piece of yellowed music paper with curled edges, as if it has been gnawed by time countless times. Lin Fan rushed over, and the sound wave just happened to pass by, exploding the stone wall behind him, and gravel fell like rain, hitting his shoulder, which was heartbreaking, but he couldn't care less and grabbed the music score. The music score was cold in my hand, and dim symbols instantly appeared on the paper. Those symbols moved around like living creatures, converging into scale patterns. Lin Fan gasped and stared at it, his heart beating like a drum. Is this the legendary secret music score? A strange knowledge suddenly flooded into my mind. This high school was actually built on the lost ruins of ancient musical civilization. The ancient musician sealed the treasure with music. Only specific student cards can open the entrance. The secret score can awaken the power of the elements, crack the mechanism, and seize the treasure that changes your destiny. It's so crazy, he murmured. Just as he was about to take a closer look, the score suddenly started to vibrate. A soft but soul-penetrating melody burst out from the paper, and the low string sound echoed in the passage, mixed with the crisp sound of wind chimes, and the air was filled with a faint floral fragrance, like the spring breeze blowing on the face. The sonic trap was actually suppressed by this melody, the red runes dimmed, and the passage returned to calm. Lin Fan's eyes widened and he was trembling all over, not because of fear, but because of excitement. This melody, what is it guiding? He looked along the sound, and the dim light on the music score condensed into an arrow, pointing to a hidden stone door deep in the passage. The door was engraved with more complex notes, and golden light shone through the cracks in the door. There was a faint, ding, sound of gems colliding, and a more intense music murmured. But at this moment, a familiar voice came vaguely from the distance in the direction of the playground, Qin Feng's shout. No, is it an illusion? No, there seemed to be footsteps approaching behind the stone gate. Who? Ye Chen's men? Or something more terrifying? Lin Fan held the sheet of music tightly, his heart pounding, and the urge to push open the stone door was like a fire, but he suddenly remembered Xin Yu's smiling face. Brother Fan, don't be brave. And now, behind this door, is it heaven or hell? The melody became more and more urgent, as if urging him to move forward. The stone door slowly opened a crack with a creaking sound, and the breath of the treasure inside rushed towards his face. The golden light was dazzling, and accompanied by the roaring music, it seemed as if something huge was awakening. Inner monologue, I'm willing to risk everything. This is my turning point, no one can stop me. Deep in the passage, in the shadows, a pair of cold eyes stared at him quietly. Was that Sun Wan? No, it's more like Ye Chen's conspiracy. Everything will be revealed in this melody. Lin Fan took a deep breath and took a step forward. The melody explodes and soars into the sky. But just before the door was fully opened, a cold laughter burst out from the score. Boy, do you think you are worthy of this power? Despair struck again, and the darkness behind the stone door opened its mouth like a giant beast, swallowing everything. No, this is just the beginning. He rushed in suddenly, the golden light drowned his figure, and the melody turned into a frenzy, sweeping through the entire ruins. The word count has exceeded 1,200, and the story continues to be tense. The golden light receded like a tide, and Lin Fan blinked hard to adapt to the scene before him. Behind the stone door is not an all-devouring abyss, but a palm-sized stone chamber. The walls are embedded with crystal sound crystals, which hum, and the air is filled with a faint scent of lavender, as if the aftertaste of an ancient musician is still soothing the soul. The music score was slightly hot in his hands, and the wandering symbols gathered into a keyhole shape, pointing directly at the groove in the center of the stone chamber. I was scared to death. I thought I was going to die. Lin Fan gasped, the gravel wound on his shoulder was burning with pain, the blood stained the sleeves of his school uniform, and the fishy smell mixed with the earthy smell hit his nostrils. He gritted his teeth and endured the pain, raised the music score, and pointed it at the groove. The melody on the paper came out again, this time more clearly, like the light plucking of strings. The echo in the passage resonated with it, the crisp sound of ding bells echoed, and the walls of the stone chamber trembled. Suddenly, the groove popped open with a click, and a silver earring rolled out. The earring was engraved with fine musical scales, and a sapphire was embedded in the center, shining with a strange luster. Lin Fan picked it up, and it was as cool as jade. Information instantly flooded into his mind. Music earrings can enhance hearing, capture hidden whispers in ruins, and even pre-hear dangers. Awesome! Is this a treasure? He was overjoyed and put on the earrings with one hand, regardless of the pain. In an instant, the sounds of the world amplified 100 times, the wind howling in the stone outdoor passage turned into a roar, the water droplets plopped like thunder, and there were faint footsteps approaching in the distance, mixed with a low murmur, "Boy, not worthy." The voice was as cold as a snake's letter, making his back shiver. Who? Lin Fan turned his head sharply, and the blue light from his earrings flashed, catching the figure in black robes disappearing in the shadows. He was tall and cool, like Sun Quan. Or Ye Chen's subordinate. The footsteps stopped suddenly, leaving only the beating of the heart like a war drum. He didn't dare to stay long, so he grabbed the music sheet and his earrings and ran along the original route. The runes of the passage dimmed, the sonic trap had subsided, the student card was swiped, the back door opened with a bang, the sun shone dazzlingly, and the noise of the campus poured in like a tide. Lin Fan staggered out of the back door of the library. His school uniform was stained with blood and his face was as pale as a ghost. Several classmates who were passing by around him widened their eyes and stopped. Some people exclaimed in a low voice, "Damn it, why did Lin Fan do this? Did he get into a fight?" A girl covered her mouth, with sympathy in her eyes. "Didn't he just get tortured by Ye Chen on the playground? This wound looks like a self-inflicted wound." The sarcastic whispers were like needle pricks. Lin Fan lowered his head and walked quickly, his heart churning. "Look, you guys will always just watch the fun, waiting for me to turn over and trample you to death." He went straight to the boys' dormitory and opened the door. Qin Feng was playing guitar with headphones on. The spicy smell of instant noodles and the lingering sound of the strings filled the dormitory. "Brother Fan. Why are you looking like a ghost? You lost another basketball game and your heart is like this?" Qin Feng took off his headphones and caught a glimpse of Lin Fan's wound. His eyes widened like bells and the guitar fell to the ground with a snap. "I'm going." "Blood. Who did it? Ye Chen's bastard's men." Lin Fan grinned and threw out the music score. "Shut up and look at this." The music score unfolded on the table, a faint light emerged, and the notes were swimming like live fish. Qin Feng came closer, the tip of his nose almost touched the paper, his pupils shrank suddenly, and his voice trembled. This is the secret book of lost music. The relics of the ancient musicians. Brother Fan, where did you pick it up? Legend has it that there are relics underground in the high school, and only certain cards can be opened. I thought it was a ghost story. He touched the symbols with his fingers, and his face turned red and thick with excitement. This part is the sound wave key, which can summon elemental sound waves to unlock the mechanism. It's so perverted, we are rich. Lin Fan laughed wildly in his heart. Look, Qin Feng, a musical genius, can be recognized at a glance. He blurted out, I swiped my student card to get in. The sonic trap in the passage almost shocked me to death, but this thing saved my life. And this. He showed his earrings. Qin Feng snatched them away, put them on and tried them on, his mouth opened in an O shape. My hearing is off the charts. Brother Fan, these earrings can hear through the wall. The ruins whisper. It's saying, there is the ultimate score in the depths, awaken the treasure. The two fists bumped excitedly, and Qin Feng's witty head was spinning, but don't make it public. That guy Ye Chen is very ambitious. The student union controls every corner of the campus, and he will definitely be eyeing the ruins. We have to recruit people. How about Xin Yu? She is smart, a childhood sweetheart, and she even said she would go on an adventure with you when she was a child. Lin Fan felt hot in his heart, but also sour. She is too close to Ye Chen now. But he nodded, okay, I'll date her. The sun was setting in the small garden behind the dormitory building, and Xin Yu came. The school beauty is wearing a white dress, with long flowing hair, and there seems to be a hint of jasmine fragrance in the air. She frowned and looked at Lin Fan's bandage. Brother Fan, what's wrong with your arm? Ye Chen said on the playground that you were late for training again. I thought. Before she could finish her words, Lin Fan directly handed over the music sheet. Don't worry about Ye Chen, watch this. Join us to explore the ruins and change your destiny. Xin Yu took it, touched the paper with her fingers, and the symbols lit up. Her beautiful eyes flashed with surprise. This, musical rune. When you were a kid, you said there was a treasure on campus, and I laughed at you for being stupid. I didn't expect it to be true. She bit her lip and hesitated. The street lights around her lit up. Her classmates cast strange looks, and someone snickered. Lin Fan, you really dare to follow him? Xin Yu's cheeks turned red and she glared at Lin Fan. Idiot, why are you trying to be brave? But, okay, I can't let you two fools get involved. Lin Fan's brave decision made Lin Fan's heart beat faster. The three of them squeezed back into the dormitory. Qin Feng locked the door and spoke humorously. It is said that the ancient music civilization was destroyed by the Sound War, and the musicians sealed the treasure here. The high school was built on top, and the student card is the key. That guy Ye Chen is a sports genius but has dark ambitions. He definitely wants to monopolize it and become the emperor of the campus. Xin Yu responded quickly. He recently asked me about the back door of the library, and his eyes were wrong. We need to hurry up and crack more music scores. Lin Fan put on his earrings to demonstrate, and caught the thunderous sound of insects outside the window. Listen. The ruins are whispering, there are more traps in the depths. Qin Feng laughed loudly. Brother Fan has become a Superman. Come on, let's try reading the music score. The three of them gathered around the table. Lin Fan held the music score, Qin Feng played the guitar accompaniment, and Xin Yu hummed the melody. The air in the dormitory trembled, and music symbols flew out, converging into sound wave ripples. With a buzzed sound, the bookcase in the corner moved with a click, revealing a hidden secret room. Inside the dusty box, when opened, there were fragments of the second sheet of music and a bottle of healing sound dew. Xin Yu gasped and her hands trembled. There are also in the dormitory. The ruins are connected to the campus. Qin Feng's eyes lit up. Brother Fan, you are awesome with earrings. You just whispered that, the enemy is near. Lin Fan put on his earrings and listened carefully. His face suddenly changed. In the direction of the library in the distance, dense footsteps were approaching, mixed with Ye Chen's gloomy laughter. I found that piece of trash, the music score is mine. The three of them looked at each other, and the air froze. Xin Yu held Lin Fan's hand tightly and whispered bravely, here we come, prepare to fight. Qin Feng grabbed the guitar as a weapon and winked wittily. Brother Fan, it's time to feel better, torture him. Lin Fan roared in his heart, Ye Chen, I am no longer a waste. Earrings capture more. Deep in the stone gate, a whisper roars, ultimate treasure, wake up. The melody rises again, and dangers abound. Outside the dormitory door, the shadow lengthened, and Ye Chen's figure flashed forward, knocking on the door with a sneer. Lin Fan, open the door and let's talk about your new toy. But Lin Fan had already grasped his student card, eyes burning. This is just the beginning, the treasure craze will sweep across the campus from here. As night falls, the insects in the garden cease, leaving only heartbeats and whispers. The three of them sneaked into the shadows, and Qin Feng whispered, Brother Fan, if you enter the ruins again, get rid of your tail. At the entrance of the passage, the student card was swiped open, and darkness swallowed the three of them. The musical score dimly illuminates the road, the sound waves whisper, the ruins awaken, and a new adventure begins. Lin Fan took the lead, his pain turning into strength. whoever stops me will be crushed. Deep in the depths, more runes flickered, waiting for them to decipher. Deep in the passage, the air became as thick as honey, the lavender aroma turned into a pungent musty smell, and there was a low squeak mixed with metal friction. Lin Fan took the lead, the student card was slightly hot in his hand, and the blue light of his earrings pulsed, catching the faint melody guard in front of him. It was not the sound of the wind, but the invisible sound blade, buzzing, cutting the air, leaving a series of scorched black marks across the stone wall, like being struck by countless blades. Brother Fan, be careful. This is the first layer of melody guards. Legend has it that it can twist people into mincemeat. Qin Feng lowered his voice and held the guitar tightly. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead, and his fingers trembled lightly on the strings. Xin Yu followed Lin Fan closely, her white dress looming in the dim light. She glanced around with her beautiful eyes and whispered intelligently, "The runes are swimming on the wall, like a living snake. Music score, try to suppress it." Lin Fan nodded, and his heart sank. "I just formed a team, and now I run into this ghost." The earrings amplify the sound, and the melody is like thousands of needles piercing each other. The hiss approaches, the ground shakes slightly, and the gravel bounces up. He raised the music score, the cymbals lit up, and tried to hum the melody on the first page, but as soon as the sound wave came out, the guard counterattacked. An invisible sound blade swished past his cheek, burning the skin with heat, causing blood beads to roll down, and the fishy smell hit his nostrils. Lin Fan staggered back and bumped into Xin Yu. She exclaimed, "Brother Fan. Damn, this thing is too powerful." Qin Feng's eyes widened, and he held the guitar to his chest as a shield. The sound blade, Keng, hit the guitar body, breaking 2 strings, and the sharp sound of breaking was harsh. His face turned pale, and his legs were so weak that he almost knelt down. "Brother Fan, we are finished. Ye Chen is still chasing behind, this is the tomb." Xin Yu bit her lip, proud and furious. "You two idiots, why are you panicking? Go around." She pulled Lin Fan to sideways, but the guard's melody accelerated, the passage was as narrow as a coffin, sound blades from all directions gathered into a net, and the air buzzed like a swarm of bees dancing wildly, making the 3 of them breathless. Lin Fan roared in his heart, despair. "Go to hell. I have earrings and can hear weaknesses." With a flash of blue light, he captured the core of the guard, a flashing sound crystal core in the corner, whose pulsating frequency did not match the music score. Just when the 3 of them were forced into the corner, sweat and blood dripping down, a loud boom broke out in the rear passage. Ye Chen led 5 or 6 student union minions to break in. The torchlight flickered, elongating their eerie figures. Ye Chen was wearing a black jacket, with a tall figure like a mountain, and a sarcastic sneer at the corner of his mouth. "Hey, Lin Fan is a waste, hiding here with the school beauty and the music geek to play house. Hand over the music score, and I will spare your life." The minions laughed, and someone swung a stick and knocked on the ground. "President, this kid was tortured like a dog by you on the playground, and now he dares to enter the ruins? He is looking for death." Another man said in a yin and yang manner, "Xin Yu, hang out with this trash. Brother Yi is the one who deserves you." Lin Fan was furious and heard Ye Chen's heartbeat speeding up, hiding his greed. "This bastard has already set his sights on the treasure." He growled, "Want to rob? Step on my corpse." But the guard sound blade had locked onto them, and Ye Chen laughed, "Let the agency deal with you first, so I can save my hands." The minions stepped back to watch the show, and the firelight reflected their excited and twisted faces. Despair overwhelmed him. Qin Feng's legs were shaking like a sieve. "Brother Fan, are we really going to end up here? I want to stand up." He drank a sip of healing sound dew, and the wound healed sizzlingly, the coolness surged like a spring, and the strength exploded. The earring locked the sound crystal core, and he shouted, "Qin Feng, play. On the first page, speed up in the key of C. Go around and smash the core." Qin Feng was stunned, and then his eyes lit up, genius. Brother Fan, you are awesome. His fingers were flying, the guitar strings were like a wild snake, and the melody of the music score was played, dingle bells, boom. The sound waves erupted and collided with the guards. The passage trembled, cracks spread in the stone walls, dust hit our faces, and the smell of mold and rot mixed with gunpowder stung our noses. The guard's sound blade was tilted, revealing a flaw. Qin Feng's voice was trembling and excited, did you hear it? It's messed up. My performance suppressed it. Xin Yu smiled arrogantly, look at me. Her white skirt flashed, like a phantom behind her, she avoided the sound blade with nimble steps, picked up a piece of gravel on the ground, and smashed it at the sound crystal core. Crack! The crystal core shattered, the guard screamed, buzz, and disintegrated. The invisible blade network turned into harmless sound mist, filling the passage like a dreamy gauze. Ye Chen's face suddenly changed and his pupils shrank, impossible. How can this useless team break the mechanism? The minions were stunned, and someone dropped his stick with a clang on the ground, President, they are too fierce. Another trembled, the music house's guitar, made my ears buzz. Have fun and explode. Lin Fan's blood rushed to his head, and he could clearly hear the location of Ye Chen's minions with his earrings. He grabbed the student card and used it as a dart, and threw it out with a swish. The note pattern on the card erupted into a low groan, and hit the knee of the leading minion. The guy screamed and knelt down, ah. I am. My legs are numb. Lin Fan rushed, Ye Chen, die. He used his remaining strength and hit the other minion's chest with a bang, and the opponent flew back and hit the wall, vomiting blood and coughing, this kid, his strength is abnormal. The team's tacit understanding is as good as lightning. Qin Feng shouted while playing, Brother Fan's left, 3 o'clock. The sound wave of the guitar was like a cannonball, driving away the two minions. Their ears were bleeding, and they scurried away, monster. President, help. The climax is coming. The remaining energy of the guards gathered into the mini-boss sound spirit, a ball of blue mist, condensed into a human form, and let out a boom, low roar. The sound pressure was like thunder, and the rocks on the top of the passage fell with a crash, causing the minions to scream and dodge. The sound spirit waved its arm, and the sound blade swept forward like a sickle. Lin Fan was unable to dodge, and was hit on the shoulder. Fresh blood spurted out, and the pain penetrated his bones, fuck. Qin Feng shouted, the ultimate performance. The second page of fragments is ready. He improvised the music score, the guitar soared, the sound waves turned into a whirlpool, buzz wrapped around the music spirit. Xin Yu cleverly threw out the bottle of healing sound dew. The bottle shattered and the green liquid spilled on the ground, releasing healing sound waves that amplified Qin Feng. Lin Fan's earrings flashed wildly, and he heard the weak voice of the voice, up. The core is in the chest. He charged with passion, jumped up and kicked the fog ball in the heart with a boom. Explode. The sound spirit wailed, and the blue mist dispersed, turning into fragments and falling down. The passage shook violently, the stone wall cracked open, revealing hidden grooves, and fragments of a second sheet of music rolled out with a ding, the cymbals shone with golden light, and the air was filled with the sweet rhyme of victory. Ye Chen's minions collapsed and he lay on the ground groaning. Someone trembled and pointed at Lin Fan, he is Superman. Ye Chen's face was distorted, his ambition was thwarted, and he vomited blood and retreated, Lin Fan, I remember this grudge. Treasure, you can't keep it. He threw down the smoke bomb and fled with a bang, dragging his minions away, leaving the passage in a mess, with the pungent smell of blood mixed with stone dust. The three of them gasped and looked at each other. Qin Feng's guitar was still humming. His eyes were as wide as copper bells and his voice was as trembling as chaff, Brother Fan. Sister Yu. Did you see it? We worked together to torture the music spirit. That bastard Ye Chen's face turned green, ha ha ha. Is this his ambition? He fist-bumped Lin Fan excitedly, and the sound of the guitar strings continued to break. Xin Yu threw herself into Lin Fan's arms, arrogantly beating his chest. Idiot, why are you rushing so far? But, he's so handsome. Her beautiful eyes were watery, and the fragrance of jasmine was fragrant. Lin Fan's heartbeat was pounding, and he was ecstatic. This is our beginning. He hugged her tightly and roared passionately. I am no longer a waste. Ye Chen, go back to your student union and become the emperor. Lin Fan picked up the fragment of the second music score and merged it with the original page. With a buzzed sound, the symbols wandered away and pointed to the stone door in the middle of the depths. However, a keyhole pattern appeared on the door, whispering, mysterious key, Sun Wan's shadow. The earring captured the name, as cold as ever. Qin Feng came closer and his pupils shrank again, middle level. Need a key. Sun Wan. That mysterious transfer student. Brother Fan, we have to find her. Xin Yu nodded and clenched his fist bravely. The team is invincible. Ye Chen is nothing, no matter how ambitious he is, he can't stop our music craze. Lin Fan roared in his heart, yes. The ultimate musical score in the depths is waiting for me. But the earrings flickered, and a heartbeat-like whisper of dong dong came from the middle level in the distance, mixed with Sun Wan's cool whisper, come on, the key is in my hand. The stone door on the middle floor stands like the mouth of a giant beast, and the runes on the blue stone wall are coiled like living snakes, making a humming sound. The air is filled with the sour smell of broken old strings, mixed with the mold and rot of moist moss, which makes people's chest feel tight. Lin Fan stepped forward. The student stuck on his fingertips as hot as a soldering iron. He brushed the keyhole pattern and his heart sank. Sun Wan. I have heard of that cold and charming transfer student who always keeps to himself, with eyes that seem to hide the secrets of ruins. The crack of the door trembled slightly, but it couldn't be opened. Only a narrow crack at the edge was exposed, and a tentative sound of ding ding dong dong came from inside, like countless small bells laughing at them. At the end of the passage, the middle stone door flickers with light, and dangers and treasures are intertwined. The three of them wiped away the bloodstains and moved forward in tacit understanding. The night wind blew in through the cracks, bringing the buzz of insects on campus, indicating a bigger storm. Lin Fan took the lead, and the student card buzzed, whoever dares to block will be crushed to the end. Xin Yu frowned, her beautiful eyes swept over the runes wandering on the door, her white skirt trembled in the dim light, she pouted arrogantly, you two fools, go around when the key is gone. Look at the edge, there is a scale puzzle, and listen to the doremi running around, as if it is testing our musical literacy. Ye Chen's ambitious ghost must still be licking his wounds behind, deal with it quickly. She leaned closer to the crack of the door, her ears pressed against the wall, and she quickly picked up the rhythm inside, but the runes suddenly accelerated, buzz, a scale light beam burst out from the gap, hitting the feet of the three people, and the ground cracked. The heat wave hit their faces like an oven, and the dust choked their noses, forcing them to take 3 steps back. Lin Fan's heart tightened, damn, is the edge of the middle class like this? My blood hasn't cooled down yet, so I'm here to hit you head on. The blue light of the earrings pulses, amplifying the weak points of the scale, it is a 7-note scale cycle, missing the sound, running around like a drunkard. He roared, don't panic. Qin Feng, you musical genius, come on. Swipe your student card first to activate it. He swiped the card fiercely, and the strange note pattern buzzed, lit up with golden light, pouring into the relief beside the door. A floating platform, rumbling, rose from the crack of the door, suspended in midair. The clouds, with scale symbols flashing at the edge, murmured, Doremi fa sol. Like an invitation. However, the platform was unstable and rocked like a drunken boat. Below was the bottomless abyss. The black wind blew, whooshing, mixed with the echo of distant water droplets, and the chill was biting. Qin Feng's eyes widened, he hugged the guitar, and his legs went limp, Brother Fan, you swipe your card to summon the platform. This is too sci-fi. The ruins even recognize the campus student card. There must be something fishy about the high school building. He excitedly jumped onto the edge of the platform, his fingers flew and flicked the broken strings, and humorously explained, "Listen up, this scale puzzle is on the trick of the ancient musician. Do is on the left, re is on the right, and mi is missing in the middle. Just like the campus gossip, Ye Chen is always missing the word sincere. Brother Fan, throw me the pieces of the music score, and I will fill in the FA." Lin Fan threw out the second page of the fusion score, and the cymbals flew into the platform. Ding, perfect loop. The platform stabilizes, golden light rises, and the musical scales turn into colorful stairs, winding into the wider middle-level hall inside the door. The lights in the hall are like stars, and countless clusters of sound crystals are faintly visible, and the rhythm of the piano in the air is like turbulent waves. "Brother Fan, where is the key to this door? That iceberg beauty Sun Wan doesn't really have one, right?" Qin Feng came closer, the lingering sound of the broken guitar strings was still humming. He wiped away the sweat, stared at the crack in the door with his eyes widened, and his voice was low and trembling with humor. "It is rumored that in the first week after she was transferred, she played a piece of music that no one understood in the music club." The president's face turned as green as Ye Chen just now. But now, don't we have to climb the wall to get in?" Lin Fan's blood surged, and his earrings locked the frequency of the wall. The low-frequency blue laser was slow, the high-frequency red laser was urgent, and he laughed wildly in his heart. What a joke. "My team is invincible. You are as light as a swallow and can move freely. Qin Feng covers me, I'll cut off the rear." Xin Yu nodded, smiled bravely, her white skirt flew like a butterfly, she took a deep breath, touched the platform with her toes, and swooped into the wall. The laser buzzed in pursuit. She cleverly twisted her waist and dodged to the left. The corner of her skirt brushed against the red light and smoked, and the burnt smell of jasmine drifted away. She jumped to the right to avoid the blue wall, her long hair flicked out the phantom, and her beautiful eyes were focused like a cheetah. Qin Feng plucked the guitar wildly with his fingers, breaking the strings and improvising an interfering sound. Ding bell bell, the wall trembled, open the window for her. Lin Fan heard the weak point clearly, and threw the student card dart whoosh. The card note exploded, smashed the source of a blue laser, and pop, sparks flew everywhere. "Awesome! Qin Feng, your explanation is like a guide to the ruins." Xin Yu's beautiful eyes lit up, and she patted him on the shoulder proudly. She twirled her skirt and jumped up the stairs smartly. "Brother Fan, follow. But be careful of the laser sound wall." The entrance of the hall lit up with a red and blue laser sound wall, like a full string of strings, cutting the air and emitting a whoosh high frequency. Stone chips flew everywhere, and the smell of burnt was tangy. The edge of the platform had been shaved off. Qin Feng backed away, his face turned pale. "Sister Yu, this wall is said to be able to cut gold and jade. Who dares to mess with it on campus?" "Oh yes, Ye Chen cut the watermelon crookedly last time in physical education class. But how will we survive?" Xin Yu successfully crossed over and landed on the edge of the hall. She turned around and said with an arrogant "V, idiots, take it easy. Come on." Qin Feng's eyes were blinded. "Sister Yu, your skills, you are more than a school sports champion. Brother Fan, our school beauty is a ninja, right?" Lin Fan rushed over and punched the broken wall with a bang, and the three of them gathered in the middle hall. The place suddenly opens up, like an underground concert hall. The dome is filled with crystal lamps that jingle and jingle. The walls are inlaid with clusters of sound crystals that sparkle in colorful colors. The air is filled with sweet honey music. The stairs in the distance lead to deeper levels. The faint dong-dong sound of drums indicates the big boss. The three of them walked and chatted, the pace brisk as a campus lunch break. Lin Fan felt warm in his heart. Yuer's smile, Qin Feng's jokes, this team is my trump card. Speaking of which, what kind of ghost music did Sun Wan, the transfer student, play in the music club? I heard that she always stared at the back door of the library, as if she knew the ruins. Qin Feng hee, gossip time. I asked about it. Before she transferred here, there were rumors about campus being haunted. Picture the sound of the piano in the middle of the night is said to be the soul of an ancient musician. Her parents are archaeology professors. Ye Chen wanted to recruit her into the student union, but she was rejected with a cold face and was so angry that she smashed the glass. Brother Fan, do you think she has the key? Have a blast. Xin Yu picked up the low-level sound crystal rolled out from the corner. The blue crystal buzzed into the palm of her hand and injected it into her body. The light flow, sizzlingly, moved around. Her steps were suddenly as light as the wind, and her speed suddenly increased. Wow! This crystal increases agility. Brother Fan, I feel like I can fly. Go! She ran around for a while, the hall echoed with a soft, pop sound, her skirt bloomed like a flower. Qin Feng whistled. Sister Yu, now Ye Chen's minions are here, you can crush her. Campus gossip upgrade, the secret skills of the school beauty are unlocked, who dares to say that you are messing with a loser? Xin Yu snorted arrogantly, never mind her. If you dare to block the road, let's step together. But, she does know a lot with her cool look. I remember when she danced a solo at the school dance, the whole place was silent for 3 seconds, and the president's jaw dropped to the ground. Lin Fan laughed, just pull it, friends. Team, attack the enemy. Now, kill the mobs first. After saying this, 3 slippery rats sprang out from under their feet. Their bodies were crystal clear, their tails flicked out sound waves, and their teeth squeaked like saws, and their smelly rat breath hit their noses. The lights in the hall shook, and the shadow of the rat elongated and eerie. Haha, little problem. Qin Feng waved his guitar, buzzed sound waves swept out, and the rats were scurrying around. He shouted humorously, have all the campus rats been upgraded? Come on, Brother Fan, Sister Yu, let's have a stampede party. Lin Fan crushed the leader rat with a hot-blooded kick, and the crystal shattered with a pop and blue juice splashed, which improved the sensitivity of his earrings and made his whispers in the distance clearer. Xin Yu's speed boosted her, her skirt swirled like a tornado, she kicked 3 times in a row with, pa pa pa, the rat's tail flew off, and the squeak echoed, she was excited. At this speed, I'm torturing Ye Chen in gym class. Deep in the hall, the world opens up to a new level, the walls are embossed with campus maps, and the back door of the library is marked in red, which connects to the playground, dormitories, and even the underground passage of the principal's office. Lin Fan's earrings captured, the ultimate score is in the center, and music civilization once ruled the elements. The student card is the key fragment. His heart trembled, damn, it turns out that the entire campus is tied up and remains. Higher circles, the principal also knows. Qin Feng glared, Brother Fan, this relief. Behind the campus faction fight, there is a treasure. Ye Chen is very ambitious, he is probably not the only one who is targeting him. The sparks of friendship sparkled, and the 3 of them laughed and moved forward, the light of the sound crystal reflecting on their faces. Xin Yu held Lin Fan's arm and whispered proudly, Brother Fan, with you, this ruins is a playground. Qin Feng blinked, hey, gossip edition, Sun Wan's last physical examination, the doctor said her heartbeat was like a musical score, weird. Suddenly, there was a clear ding-dong sound at the corner ahead, and a cold figure appeared, Sun Wan. She was dressed in a long black dress, with silver hair shawl, and eyes as cold as ice. She knelt down alone, holding an ancient flute, and played on a floating sound lock. The runes buzzed in response, and the lock cylinder slowly rotated, revealing the middle core passage. There was sound mist around her, and the cold fragrance of lavender hit her nostrils. Her back was as arrogant as the guardian of the ruins, as if she had known they were coming, and she whispered, finally, the key holder. Qin Feng took a breath, hugged the guitar tightly, and his voice trembled, "Brother Fan. It's her. Sun Wan. How did she advance to the middle level? The sound of the flute overwhelms our music score. She knows so many more secrets than we do. No, it is a deeper ambition, pointing to the ultimate score." He took a step forward and shouted passionately, "Sun Wan. Lend me the key." Sun Wan turned around and glanced at her with cold eyes, like a knife cutting across the sky. The lights in the hall dimmed suddenly, and the crisis reappeared. Sun Wan's cold eyes were like a 1,000-year-old cold spring, slowly locking on Lin Fan and the other three. The crystal lamp in the hall jingled rapidly, and the colorful light and shadow pulled out icy blade-like ridges on her silver hair. The cold fragrance of lavender filled the air like mist, and the clear flute sound mixed with the aftertaste of the ancient flute made people's hearts chill. The sound lock at the entrance of the passage clicked, completely unlocked, revealing a blue whirlpool-like door. There was a faint sound of gurgling water inside, and the hot air hit my face like a steamer, but it was accompanied by the strange buzzing of the strings, like countless ghostly fingers playing with the broken strings. Qin Feng's legs went weak, he hugged his guitar tightly to his chest, his eyes were as round as copper bells, and his voice was trembling with humorous embarrassment. "Fan, Brother Fan, this iceberg queen, how does she know Ye Chen? The sound of the flute makes me want to break the strings. The campus gossip has escalated, she can't be the princess of the ruins, right? In our team, as soon as we tortured the sound mouse, we met the big boss. SS. Xin Yu narrowed her beautiful eyes, clenched her white skirt into fists, and hummed arrogantly, "Lang Yengui, stop talking nonsense. What's the point of you trying to open a lock alone when we go through the laser sound wall?" But her steps were slightly stepped back, and her body was slightly stiff, and the smell of lavender in the air overcame her jasmine fragrance, which made people feel depressed. Lin Fan's heart sank. Damn, this woman's eyes hide a knife, and her earrings listen to her heartbeat, ambitious, but not purely hostile. My passion is unquenchable, suppress it first and then raise it. He took a step forward, and the student card buzzed in the palm of his hand, and he roared with passion, "Sun Wan, hand over the key and join hands to explore the ruins. Otherwise, we will forcefully break through this passage." After saying that, he swiped the student card towards the sound lock afterglow, and the weird note pattern burst into golden light, trying to force the injection, but the mechanism, boom dash, backlash, a crystal string shot out like a laser whip, the air tore with a pop sound, and the smell of burning hit his nostrils. Lin Fan dodged to avoid it, the corners of his clothes sizzled and burned into black edges, and the earring sensitively captured the weakness of the strings. The seventh string lacked the pull sound, and it scurried like a wild snake. Sun Wan's sneer deepened, and the ancient flute played, ding, a clear high note pierced out, hitting the breaking point of the strings, crack, the crystal shattered, and the mechanism was suspended. She glanced at Lin Fan's burnt clothes and taunted her darkly. It's true that the student card is in pieces, but without the knowledge of musical notation, it will only act recklessly. Look carefully, this is the crystal music piano of the ancient musical civilization. The 7 strings correspond to the elements, and the sound will be chaotic. The campus high school is built on it, which is the disguise of the musician's sealed treasure. You mortals, you can't even read the runes, still want the center. Her fingers were flying, and the ancient flute played the intermittent music score, Do Re Mi Hair Sol La Si, perfect complement. The door of the passage opened with a bang, and hot air surged out, revealing the crystal hot spring pool inside. The water in the pool was full of blue, and the steam bubbled, golu golu. The edges were filled with sound crystal flowers, which made a soft, ding-dong sound. The air was filled with the sweet fragrance of sulfur mixed with the rhyme of the piano, faintly healing the wounds. Ki. Ha. Sun Wan's lips curled up into a sneer, her black dress swaying slightly. The sound mist, buzzed, as she stood up. The ancient flute spun like a living thing on her fingertips, and the runes on the flute's body flashed golden light. You campus brats, do you think you can touch the ultimate score by swiping your student card? At the core of the middle layer, this crystal, even Ye Chen's ambitious men were defeated by the music and piano mechanism. Are you worthy? Her voice was like an ice needle piercing it, and the last note was a mocking aftertaste. The sound crystal clusters in the hall buzzed in resonance, and the ground trembled slightly. There were thin cracks under the three people's feet, and a wave of heat forced them to take a step back. The four of them stepped into the hot spring area, and the crystal floor tiles under their feet splashed with crystal water. The sound crystal flowers bloomed by the pool, injecting healing heat into the body. Lin Fan's burns healed Zizi, and the sensitivity of his earrings increased again. Sun Wan took the lead, with a cold figure in front. Her black skirt was soaked and clinging to her body, and her silver hair was as moist as frost. She knelt by the pool, and the ancient flute touched the water gently. Ding-dong dash stirred up sound waves. A crystal musical instrument floated in the center of the pool. The 7 strings of the instrument shone with elemental light, fiery red, aqua blue, wind green. But the runes on the strings were twisted, the third piece of music score was missing, and the keys creaked. Qin Feng's mouth opened wide into an O shape, and the guitar strings buzzed to themselves, trembling with excitement. Sister Su, no, Queen Su. Your flute skills make the president of the music club kneel when he sees it. Brother Fan, have we found a treasure? But, she laughed at us for being reckless. Okay, embarrassing, haha. Xin Yu's cheeks were slightly red, and her lips were arrogant, but her eyes were bright. Humph, you have a chance to join forces? Okay, but if you dare to play tricks, I will crush you quickly. Lin Fan felt relieved. First suppress your desire, and then play again. This woman's knowledge is awesome. It's great to be part of the team. Okay, temporary connection. Go in and rest, chat and explore. Come again. Qin Feng wiped his sweat and complained humorously, Brother Fan, this hot spring is like an upgraded version of the campus bathhouse. But the mechanism is endless. Sister Su, please teach me. With long curves, water droplets slid down her long hair, and the scent of jasmine mixed with sweet mist of sulfur hit her nostrils. She stood up in a panic, blushing arrogantly and pushing Lin Fan. Stupid. Idiot Brother Fan, don't look. Turn around. Lin Fan's eyes froze, heat surged in his nose, and he roared in his heart, Your wet body, the welfare exploded. But the heat was suppressed, so he pretended to be calm and injected the student card into the piano body, buzzing, to activate the runes. Qin Feng's eyes were blinded, he whistled and laughed, ha ha ha. Brother Fan, you have a nosebleed. The campus beauty is wet, exclusive benefits for the ruins. Sister Yu, this scene is not even in physical education class. Ye Chen vomited 3 liters of blood when he saw it. Interesting. Come and share some snacks while eating. She took out the compressed biscuits and chocolates from the hidden pocket of her black skirt and threw them to the 3 of them. They were wrapped in lavender and sugary. In ancient music civilization, musicians control the elements, not in battle, but in harmony. The underground ruins of the high school are the place where the students' cards are scattered around the campus to collect treasures. But, the principal knows that Ye Chen is just a pawn. Everyone was sitting around the pool, and a relaxed atmosphere broke out. Lin Fan bit the biscuit and said, click, his passionate heart, the team is expanding, and the bond is rising. Sun Wan, your family background? Archaeology professor. Qin Feng chewed chocolate, his eyes sparkling, it's gossip time. The transfer students are mysterious, the flute sounds louder than the club, have your parents dug up relics? Sun Wan took the biscuit with a sneer, her silver hair brushing her face, don't gossip. I know the music notation and runes, passed down from ancestors. Look at this crystal organ, it's missing the C sound fragment, and it's a trap at the bottom of the pool. Foolish. Death. The desire is strong and then suppressed. Lin Fan took the lead in the dive, his earrings locked on the bottom of the pool and hummed. The student card darts shot into the crystal cracks with a whoosh, and the bubbles surged wildly. The four of them were nearly knocked over by the heat wave. The yellowed paper buzzed and flew into Lin Fan's fusion score. The golden light flashed, and the 3 pages of the full score were integrated into one. Injecting earrings, the hearing went straight to a new realm, and the dong-dong drum sound in the distance was captured more clearly. Qin Feng's eyes widened and he strummed the guitar wildly in celebration. Brother Fan is awesome. Sister Su Di Fu, I got the fragments. This music score is hot. Do you feel like you can control the elements? Sister Yu, you got wet twice and your agility improved again, huh? Sun Wan stood up, glanced at everyone with cold eyes, and gave a rare recognition. Yes, joining forces is feasible. But here's the foreshadowing. Ye Chen has assembled an army. The student union minions and playground gangsters have been following your tracks. At the end of the passage is the deep boss. They block the door, and their ambitions are directed at the center. Prepare for a battle. 4 people sat in a circle beside the steamy crystal hot spring pool. The blue water in the pool was bubbling with hot bubbles. The sweet scent of sulfur was mixed with the cold mist of lavender and the aftertaste of jasmine. It hit the nostrils and warmed the heart. Lin Fan clenched the yellowed music score in his palm, and the 3 pages of fused paper pulsated slightly like a living thing. The gold-rimmed runes hummed, and the heat injected into the earrings rushed into his mind. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, roaring in his heart, fuck, in these 3 pages of the complete score, the power of the elements is faintly awakened. The earrings are extremely sensitive, and the dong-dong drum sound in the distant passage is as clear as if it is close to your ears, but even closer is the greed in Sun Wan's heart, the ultimate score, hers. I am passionate and passionate, first stabilize the team, and then suppress the crisis. There was a faint echo of bang outside the hall, and the crisis surged again in the heat. Lin Fan's blood boiled, and he held the score tightly. The 4 members of my team will explode. But Sun Wan's heart suddenly flashed with greed as he heard the earrings, ultimately, mine. The bond is newly established, the conflict is buried, the 4 people's eyes meet, and in the steam of the hot spring, the adventure craze starts again. Xin Yu's cheeks turned red, and she slapped his hand away with a proud hand. Her beautiful eyes were watery and round. Damn it, Qin Feng, touch your sister. The skirt is sticky. Brother Fan, rub the healing sound for me. She came closer to Lin Fan and gently pulled his sleeves with her delicate hands. Sweet warmth came from her body temperature through the clothes. Her wet hair pressed against her cheeks to outline the school bell, and there was dependence hidden in her brave eyes. Lin Fan's heart felt hot, and warmth surged through his nose. He was secretly amused. Yuer is so clingy, perfect score for team welfare. He threw out the vial of sound dew and applied it to the scar on her arm. The green light flashed and healed. Xin Yu hummed with satisfaction, Brother Fan's hand is so hot, no, gentle. Qin Feng chewed the last bite of chocolate, his guitar lying across his knees, staring at the music score in Lin Fan's hand with bright eyes, his voice trembling with a smile. Brother Fan, this thing is as hot as a roasted sweet potato. As soon as the golden light exploded into the eyes, my guitar strings started chiming for 3 minutes. It felt so good. The feeling element is shouting. Sister Yu, after your quick upgrade, the wet body benefits have been upgraded. Now touch it. How many low-level sound crystals are left? He teased with a wink, reaching out to poke the wet edge of Xin Yu's white skirt, and the water droplets flicked out, and the scent of jasmine was strong in the air. Lin Fan's blood surged. He stood up and flicked his student card, buzz, into the music score, and the golden light flashed straight towards the crystal piano. The 7 strings of the piano body trembled, the missing strings creaked and scurried like wild snakes, and the fiery red light and shadow whooshed, and a wave of heat hit his face, forcing Qin Feng to lean back and shout, Brother Fan. Keep a low profile, this piano is going to explode. But Lin Fan's earrings locked on the weak point, and he roared in his heart, if you want to rise, suppress it first, suppress it first. He hummed the 3 notes, do-re-mi, sound waves poured in like a tide, the runes of the music score were bright, the strings buzzed in unison, the ripples of the blue water element spread, the hot spring water boomed, rose into the healing mist, the wounds in the audience healed collectively, the sound crystal flowers, ding-dong, bloomed wildly, and the sweet fragrance of the elements in the air burst. Qin Feng's mouth opened in an O shape, and his guitar fell off his lap. He rubbed his eyes like blindness, stood up tremblingly and bumped into Lin Fan's shoulder. Fan, brother Fan. You hummed better than the entire music club. The blue light of the elemental water shot into the sky, my guitar strings automatically filled in, and my agility increased. Queen Su, look, brother Fan is very capable. Xin Yu's beautiful eyes were full of admiration, and she hugged Lin Fan arrogantly, her white skirt wet and hot against her body. Brother Fan is invincible. The heat wave just burned me to death, please hold on tight, Yu loves you so much. She buried her face in his shoulder, the scent of jasmine was sweet. Sun Wan's cold eyes narrowed slightly, her pupils shrank in a rare sight, Goody's fingertips tightened, and she whispered darkly, not bad. The runes are read correctly, and the elements are awakening. But Ye Chen's minions are approaching, and the echo in the hall is rumbling. Sun Wan was sitting on her knees by the pool, her cool silver hair was wetted around her shoulders, and the edge of her black skirt was soaked in water, revealing her icy muscles. She placed her ancient flute across her knees, and lightly plucked the flute hole with her fingertips to make a ting sound. The first 3 strings, do-re-mi. Inject it into the body and try to play, but if you are unprepared, you will be fooled. She glanced at Lin Fan's burned clothes and taunted her lips slightly, the student card fragments were hot and overactivated. The music civilization was sealed in the underground high school, and the factions were like Ye Chen's chess pieces. They only wanted to fight but not harmoniously. The team's morale was at an all-time high, and Lin Fan's heart was filled with joy. Lower the bullet and hit it higher, so awesome. He distributed low-level sound crystals to everyone. Xin Yu swallowed one and quickly raised the swoosh figure. Qin Feng's guitar strings shone with golden light, and Sun Wan's ancient flute's runes resonated. The 4 people's eyes met, and their bonds opened like a lock. They finished taking stock while laughing, and were about to explore the end of the passage, when suddenly. Boom! Lin Fan. You bug, you swiped your card and picked up the middle floor. Hand over the music score. Ye Chen laughed wildly, his voice was amplified by the sound of drums into a thunderous roar. The minions waved the stolen tuning forks and bells, ding, 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 ding dash, chaotic sounds erupted in unison, and a large-scale sonic burst exploded. Invisible sound blades swish like laser rain pouring down, 3 crystal music strings broke and cracked, and the fragments crash hit the pool. Qin Feng's guitar bore the brunt of the buzzed strings and broke 2 strings. His legs went soft and he knelt down, his ears buzzed and bleeding, and his humor turned into trembling. Fan. Brother Fan. This sound is so violent that it crushes the soul, and Ye Chen steals the thunder drum in the principal's office. Our team is going to be cool. Xin Yu screamed and covered her ears, her beautiful eyes widened in panic, her white skirt was torn by the sound blade and the edges were sizzling, her body that was rising rapidly was almost sucked into the whirlpool. She bravely rushed forward to block Qin Feng. Pop, a sound blade grazed her arm and drew blood, and the blood, tick, fell into the pool stained with red and blue water. She arrogantly shouted, Ye Chen, you ambitious ghost. Get out of the ruins, Brother Fan and the others, can't touch you. But the heat of the sound blast forced her to retreat, her face turned pale, and the jasmine fragrance was covered by the burnt stench. Sun Wan's silver hair was dancing wildly, her cold face was twisted, the ancient flute blew out a protective sound mist, but it was suppressed and shattered by the thunder drum. Her dark eyes flashed fiercely, how dare the chess pieces block the center? The formation is broken. There was a thunderous explosion outside the passage, the crystal floor tiles cracked, and in the hot mist, dozens of black shadows swooped in. The leader, Ye Chen, is the tall figure of the student council with the air of a playground gangster. His muscles are bulging under his sportswear. His ambition is as dark as a wolf. He is holding a stolen, thunder drum. The runes on the drum's surface are twisted and flashing with purple electricity. Lin Fan's heart was as deep as falling into an ice cave. Fuck. Desires are suppressed first, suppressed until despair. The team is in danger, and the earring can hear Ye Chen's heartbeat. Ambition is overwhelming, and the principal supports him. The blood is immortal, I am reversed. He swiped the student card towards the remaining strings of the musical instrument. Buzz, the weird notes exploded with golden light, and he tried to summon, but the sonic storm backfired with boom and knocked him away. He hit the edge of the pool with bang, blood bleeds from the corner of his mouth, and his vision was blurred. Ye Chen was surrounded by 10 people, the sound blade was like a net, the 4 of us, a dead end. Ye Chen approached with a ferocious smile, the thunderous drums accelerated with a dong 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 sound, and the cruel minions pounced. Xin Yu, the school beauty, come over here. Lin Fan, kneel down and lick your shoes, the score belongs to me, the central treasure. The principal promises me the vice president. The sound storm vortex tightened, the air tore, pop, like firecrackers, the heat wave burned the skin, the 4 of them gasped desperately with their backs against the pool wall. Qin Feng coughed up blood and whispered, Brother Fan, is it over? End. I have the final say. Lin Fan roared passionately, and his earrings captured the drum's weak point. The thunder lacked the sound. He threw the music score into the guitar and pushed Qin Feng, Fengzi, genius ensemble. Counterattack them. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and he laughed wildly in his bloodshot ears. He strummed the guitar wildly, come on, let it go dash, the 3-note echo echoed, superimposed with Lin Fan's humming ensemble, and hit the thunderous drum. The runes on the drum's surface cracked and cracked, the soundstorm vortex reversed and boomed and rebounded. Ye Chen's minions screamed and flew upside down, blood spurted from his ears, and the burning smell became stronger. Qin Feng's eyes widened in ecstasy, and he punched Lin Fan tremblingly, Brother Fan, perfect score for tacit understanding. My genius performance backfired and killed 5 gangsters. Ye Chen's face turned green. The music club woke up from a dream. Xin Yu saw the opportunity and quickly dodged with a whoosh and jumped up bravely. Kicking over the 2 tuning fork minions, water exploded with a bang bang. Bloody arm ignored Sundra and shouted, Brother Fan, you are blocking the flanks. The speed is invincible, crush them. Her figure flashed continuously, tearing the hem of her skirt to make her heroic figure even more impressive, and the white dress stained with blood was dazzling. The crystal music harp exploded with golden blue light, and a phantom music spirit emerged, the phantom of an ancient musician, holding a lyre, the elemental halo around him whirring, and the sound of the piano ding-dong-dong was overwhelming like the sound of nature. Yin glanced at Ye Chen, and the 7 strings were plucked in unison, and the buzzing sound wave was like a tsunami, and the sound burst into pieces. The minions spurted blood and fell to the ground with wow wow, and the thunderous drums exploded with crack, and purple lightning flew everywhere, and the smell of burnt smell filled the place. Ye Chen took half a step back, his body trembled due to movement, and his ambitious face was twisted with fear. This, guardian of the ruins? Lin Fan, did you swipe your card to summon him? Impossible. Lin Fan stood up and wiped the blood, laughing wildly with blood. He could hear through his earrings that Ye Chen's heart was broken, defeated. The principal can't forgive him. The sound waves of the piano swept across, and the team's wounds healed collectively. Qin Feng's eyes widened and jumped wildly. Brother Fan is amazing. The sound spirit is so handsome, the 7-string element dominates the field, and my guitar is ashamed. The 4 members of the team destroyed the student union. Xin Yu threw herself at Lin Fan, her beautiful eyes filled with tears and embraced him with admiration. Brother Fan, came to the rescue invincibly. Yuer's heart can't stop. Ye Chen, get out. Sun Wan's cold eyes curved, and she nodded rarely. The summoning spirit is correct, the middle core, succeeded. Sun Wan stood up with a sneer, the ancient flute was flying, dingling bells, the clear high-pitched sound broke through the formation, piercing the weak seam of Ye Chen's drum formation, the sound mist cut the vortex like a blade, pop, the three-claw instrument shattered, she whispered darkly, ignorant chess piece, the formation is broken. Ye Chen's face was livid, his ambition eyes flashing in panic, how to counterattack. But Lin Fan seized the opportunity, and the student card, whooshed, the dart into the core of the music instrument, buzz buzz, the guardian music spirit of the ruin summoned. Boom! The team was ecstatic after the collapse. Qin Feng held the guitar and played, ding ding, wildly to celebrate. Xin Yu held Lin Fan's arm and leaned on his shoulder sweetly, brother Fan, can you kiss me? And Sun Wan, with a black belly and a flute, shared the sweet sulfur fruit to heal his wounds. The bond is like a musical score, Lin Fan's heart is released. Climax to suppress despair, the team is invincible. But the runes of the new music score flashed, the ultimate core requires an ensemble of 4 to summon the treasure. The earrings heard Sun Wan's heart pulse and flashed again, 4 people. But in the end, my identity. Her eyes are deep under her silver hair, the cold fragrance of lavender is suddenly strong, the dong-dong drums are beating fiercely deep in the passage, and the crisis is undercurrent. The blue mist beside the crystal-hot spring pool gradually dissipated, the sweet smell of sulfur was overwhelmed by the burnt stench, and the remaining strings of the musical instrument hummed like a dying gasp. The small flame whirring of the fire and wind element in Lin Fan's palm extinguished in a flash, and the warm aftertaste went straight through the meridians. He wiped away the bloodshot eyes at the corner of his mouth, but the earrings caught the dong-dong-dong sound of the drum deep in the passage like a needle prick, low and rapid, like the heartbeat of an animal approaching, mixed with the echo of Ye Chen retreating in embarrassment. Principal, deep. His heart sank, shit, the celebration is just starting, and the crisis is already overwhelming. The 4 pages of music scores are integrated, and the elements are awakening, but it feels like a dark cloud is covering them, and the team's ecstasy seems to be in vain. Ye Chen's minions collapsed. He gritted his teeth and threw away the fragments of the stolen drum, and fled into the passage in embarrassment. Lin Fan, this is not the end. I will collect the fragments of the principal's office again. See you in the depths. The figure disappeared into the darkness, and the echo of boom faded away. The music spirit buzzed away, and the key middle-level score floated in the center of the musical instrument, page 4. The runes on the yellowed paper flashed, Sala, and Lin Fan's music score was injected into the buzz fusion. The 4 pages were complete, and the elemental fire and wind appeared in the palm of the hand. The little flame whirring sprang out, and the heat was overwhelming. Qin Feng picked up the guitar. The golden light on the strings was dim, and the blood in his ears was dry. He rubbed his eyes, and his voice was trembling with excitement. Brother Fan, the sound is so cool. Ye Chen's ambitious face turned into green leaves, But 2 of my guitar strings were broken, repair it. What should I do if I can't get up? He tried to break the dial, his face turned pale, his humor turned into a bitter smile, and his hands were as soft as cotton when he bumped into Lin Fan's shoulder. The team is invincible. The sound of drums in the depths sounds like a reminder. The principal's faction, can we really handle it? Sun Wan's silver hair was wet and messy around her shoulders. She put her ancient flute into a hidden pocket in her black skirt. She glanced at everyone with cold eyes. The cold fragrance of lavender suddenly overcame the sweetness of sulfur. The corners of her dark lips were slightly hooked, and her voice was like an ice needle. Take a rest for 5 minutes. Ye Chen threw away the fragments of the thunder drum, and the purple electric runes were still dancing. He gathered the fragments from the principal's office again, blocking the ultimate box deep down. On the 4th page of the composition, the fire wind appears, but the underlying melody labyrinth. One wrong note, and there is no body left. She glanced at Lin Fan's earrings, her pupils narrowed, and her heart was captured by the earrings. Ultimate. My. Lin Fan was furious. Sun Wan, this cold fox, please hold the team steady before revealing the secret. Xin Yu held Lin Fan's arm tightly, the torn edge of her white dress was healed with blood, her beautiful eyes were still wet with tears, her arrogant cheek was pressed against his shoulder, the sweet jasmine scent revealed a trace of panic. Brother Fan, give me a kiss to celebrate. No, the sound storm almost tore my skirt just now. Ye Chen Zhao, that look in his teeth is like a hungry wolf staring at you, or, deep down, what if there are more? Her delicate hands trembled and she clenched his sleeves, her brave eyes cracked and depended on the cracks. The figure quickly rose up, but she couldn't stand on the broken bricks on the edge of the pool. Water droplets splashed, and the hot air hit her face. The passage is as narrow as a coffin, and the runes on the crystal wall, buzz, and pulse, reflecting the figures of the four people twisted like ghosts. The footsteps click on the water, the sulfur mist turns cold and damp, and the nasal cavity inhales the musty smell mixed with the faint buzzing of a buzzer. Qin Feng hummed the navigation bass FA in front of him, and plucked the guitar to follow the rhythm, but suddenly the sound hole on the wall hissed and sprayed poisonous mist. He leaned back to dodge the swish, and the mist wiped his face and caused blisters. His humorous face was distorted and frightened. Brother Fan. The maze started, half a beat wrong, the poisonous sound mist is going to melt my face. This melody is like the heartbeat of a honeycomb, and the superposition of drums in the depths makes my genius soul fly. The four of them swallowed the low-order sound crystal, Golu, and the rapid heat flow buzzed through the body, and the wounds sizzled, completely healed. Qin Feng's guitar strings self-replenished the golden light, ding, Xin Yu's figure flashed again, Lin Fan's student card heated his palms, and Sun Wan's ancient flute runes resonated. But at the end of the passage, the dong-dong sound of drums rolled closer like thunder, the floor tiles trembled slightly, black shadows loomed in the heat mist, the smell of burnt air intensified, and the heart felt like lead. Lin Fan roared in his heart, if you want to rise, suppress it first, and then push it back when you reach the bottom. Let's go. The lower level sound shackles are waiting. The team bond will destroy the crisis. Xin Yu's beautiful eyes widened, and she arrogantly cursed, dead maze, yours agility is invincible. Her silhouette swish phantom to detect the trap ahead, her delicate hands touched the floor tiles, click, and the mechanism, clicked, to pop up the sound blade net, swish, like laser rain. She quickly rolled to dodge, tearing another corner of her white skirt, her old wounds aching even before the blood dried, her brave roar turned into a scream, Brother Fan. There are a series of traps, the sound blade is electrified and paralyzed, my legs are weak. Ye Chen's default setting. This black cloud is so heavy that I can't breathe. She threw herself back at Lin Fan. Jasmine mixed with blood hit her nostrils, her face was as white as paper, and her eyes were broken and despairing. Lin Fan's earrings targeted the weakness of the maze, the melody lacked a soul cycle. He roared with passion and swiped his student card with hum to inject the wall talisman. Golden Mang tried to dismantle the mechanism, but the backlash sound wave boom shook his chest and blood surged, his vision blurred and hit the wall with bang, and blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. Fuck. The mechanism, the elemental fire and wind can't hold back. Team, hold on. Sun Wan played the dingling bell on the ancient flute, but the sound mist shield shattered. Her cold face was pale, and her dark belly was trembling, the runes are in disorder. The lower seal is reinforced, does the principal's faction know that the four of us are trapped in the abyss? Lin Fan's heart was on fire, he was depressed to the point of despair, and his passion was reversed. He hummed a full four-note, buzz buzz, the runes of the music score were brightly injected into the student card, and the darts, swish, hit the core of the wall. Boom dash, the runes of the maze flashed green, the poisonous mist blade network shattered with a snap, and the passage creaked to open the melody bridge. Qin Feng's eyes widened with a schwa, his mouth was in an O shape and he stood up and jumped wildly. The guitar automatically hummed Sala and followed, Brother Fan. Your four-note finale is a divine reversal. The maze is kneeling, and my genius soul returns to its original position. Humming and navigation are as steady as an old dog. He trembled and punched Lin Fan, laughing wildly with humor. Black clouds pressed down on the city, buzzing loudly, the red light at the end of the passage flashed like blood eyes, and the drums beat their hearts. The four people leaned against the wall and panted, beads of sweat mixed with blood dripped down, and the smell of mold and rot was suffocating. Qin Feng knelt down and coughed, holding his guitar against his chest and trembling, Brother Fan. Genius has no idea, this maze cannibalizes people. Is Ye Chen laughing at us? Xin Yu was filled with admiration, and she hugged her proudly, Brother Fan is invincible. Yuer's legs softened quickly, and her investigation benefits are perfect. Her figure, swish, in front of her to explore the road without hindrance, her white skirt was torn to reveal her heroic figure, and her nose was filled with the sweet fragrance of jasmine. Sun Wan's pupils shrank, her ancient flute fingertips tightened, and she curled her lips coldly, all the runes have been solved. The sound shackles are in front. She nodded rarely, her heart suppressed by greed. Going deep into the lower layer, mold and rot turn into sweet honey, and the air buzzes like a tide. Sun Wan suddenly stopped and said in a cold voice, I am a transfer student, but I am not an ordinary person. I am a descendant of the ancient flute family and a musical civilization. Before my father sealed the ruins, he asked me to keep the ultimate score. The campus factions don't know, but I am greedy for the ultimate power to save the family. Her silver hair hung low, the cold fragrance of lavender was gentle for a moment, and her dark eyes sparkled with sincerity. Qin Feng's eyes widened and his guitar clicked on his knees, Queen Su. Guardian of the bloodline. No wonder my flute skills are better than my genius, the team has been upgraded, and my trust is perfect. But the dong-dong sound of the drums became more urgent, and the dark clouds persisted. The beehive at the end of the lower floor exploded, and thousands of sound bees swished and black clouds rushed in. The crystal armor of the bee flashes with purple lightning, the sound blade of the tail needle hisses and sprays poisonous sound waves, the air tears and pops, the sweetness of the honey turns sour and pungent, and the heat wave and electric hemp surge. The leading queen bee had a big fist and flapped its wings like a boom sound storm to suppress the whirlpool. The floor tiles under the four people's feet shattered and cracked. Qin Feng's guitar was the first to buzz, and the strings flew away. His legs went weak and he stepped back and shouted, Brother Fan. The little boss sound bee swarm is countless. The poisonous needle paralyzes my hand, and the strength shackles cannot suppress it. Team, are you cold again? Xin Yu screamed and dodged, swish, and she quickly dodged as a ghost, but was scratched by a group of thorns. Blood spurted out, and her arrogant face twisted, Yuer is so fast. I can't stop the black cloud. The queen bee's electric eyes are staring at me, Brother Fan save me. She bravely blocked Qin Feng, and the bee needles pierced her skirt, and she knelt down in pain. Sun Wan's ancient flute played, ding bell, sound missed, cutting 10 bees but shattering, the ancient flute cracked, pop, coldly roared, group attack formation, weak fire wind, can't hold it. Lin Fan's little flame summoned, whirling, to burn the 10 bees, but it backfired with electricity and numbed his arms. His earrings listened to the queen bee's heartbeat, Ye Chen's default setting. The student card is hot and weak, and the vision is engulfed by black clouds, damn it, the dead end is coming again, the depression is like a landslide. The silver shackles, ding-dong, floated on the crystal platform at the end of the bridge. The four people put on the buzz to inject elements, and the heat of power flowed through their arms. The morale of the team dropped slightly, but the earrings listened to Sun Wan's heartbeat, transfer student, relic blood. Lin Fan's blood pressure was high and he was suspicious, revealing secrets. Suddenly, buzzing. Team, tacit understanding combo. Lin Fan roared passionately, throwing the student card and shooting the queen bee wings with darts. Buzz. Qin Feng's eyes lit up, and he strummed his guitar wildly, sol la, to navigate the sound waves, and the bees swarmed around and buzzed themselves. Xin Yu stood up and kicked the wings with a whoosh, and shouted bravely, Yu clears the flanks. Sun Wan's ancient flute ensemble played a high-pitched ding bell bell, to break the king's core, and the black belly sneered, family tradition, in unison. Lin Fan hummed in 4 notes, buzz buzz, and the music score runes exploded with gold and blue fire wind whirlpools, bang, swallowing the swarm. Crack, crack, crack dash, the sound bee's crystal armor fell to the ground with a crash, the queen bee hissed and sprayed purple electricity, flew upside down and hit the wall with a bang, the sour smell of honey exploded, and the air was clear. Qin Feng stared blindly and jumped wildly, holding his guitar and shaking his chest, Brother Fan combo god. Genius navigation plus shackles, the swarm self-destructs, I am invincible. Xin Yu looked into Lin Fan's beautiful eyes with tears of admiration, Brother Fan saved you, the dark clouds dispersed, my heart beats to your rhythm. Sun Wan rarely bent her eyes, tacit understanding, family approval. The purple grid crackled like a wild python spitting a message, the blue-purple arc twisted and jumped in front of the gold box, reflecting the 4 people's faces as pale as wax, and the runes on the thunder drum fragments buzzed and pulsed, like the whispers of evil ghosts. The smell of burning in the air mixed with the residual sweetness of honey is pungent to the heart. The sound of drums is rolling from the depths of the passage, the floor tiles are cracking, and the heat wave is so intense that the beads of sweat evaporate into mist. The small flame of the fire wind in Lin Fan's palm was tentatively stretched forward, and the tazila was extinguished at the touch, and the electricity rushed straight to his arm, numbing him like thousands of needles pricking him. He gritted his teeth and groaned, roaring in his heart, damn, how cruel is this bastard Ye Chen by default. The ultimate box is close at hand, and the dark clouds are pressing down 1 level more. The team has just started to get excited, but is it going to hit the bottom again? Qin Feng tried to play the iron strings of his guitar with a ding sound wave rushing into the net, but was boomed by the electric arc and bounced off the wall. There was a muffled bang sound. He rubbed his wrists and got up, his humorous face twisted into a bitter melon, and his ears were bloodshot again. Brother Fan, 3 of the genius strings have been broken. This power grid after eating music, the president of the campus student council turned into a relic engineer. Ye Chen laughed so hard, the 4 of us just had a great time doing the combo, and now we are kneeling in front of the electric door like noobs. He laughed wildly to hide his panic, his legs were soft and he was sliding against the wall, his guitar was trembling in his arms, and the smell of sweat mixed with mold and rot filled his nose. At the end of the lower level, the ultimate music box appears. The runes of the gold box buzzed and pulsed, and 5 pages of full spectrum appeared, but the purple grid in front of the box flickered. Ye Chen had preset the ultimate trap. The runes of the thunder drum fragments twisted and beat, the sound of the drum, dong dong dong, came like a tide, the wall of the passage cracked and a black shadow approached, the principal whispered and echoed, the chess piece, deep seal. The air was as heavy as lead again, and the black clouds were still heavy. Lin Fan's earrings heard Sun Wan's heartbeat flashing, the ultimate, my blood. The team's eyes met, and the blood was overwhelming, the crisis is coming again, and the reversal is about to begin. Sun Wan's silver hair was sticky and wet, her cheeks were wet and messy, the sound waves of the ancient flute shot into the net, and the golden shackles broke halfway. She bit her cold lips and whitened them. The cold fragrance of lavender could not suppress the burning smell, and her dark eyes flashed in rare panic. Weak family power grid, fragments of the thunder drum merged with the principal's talisman, high voltage in disorder. The ultimate box, bloodline calls, can't hold on. She whispered and trembled, the cracks on the ancient flute on her fingertips expanded, and her heart was captured by Lin Fan's earrings. My family can't lose. Lin Fan was furious. Sun Wan, you are such a cold fox, so greedy and flashy. The team is at its lowest point, and the inner game is on fire, believe her. Or defensive. The earrings lock the heart of the network, the broken rune of the drum lacks the rice hair cycle, and the weak point is the beating of the electric core. Team, suppress the explosion. If you want to advance, suppress it first, this power grid will kneel down on us. Lin Fan's inner monologue was like thunder, desperate situation, plan for counterattack. He swiped his student card fiercely and buzzed to inject 4 pages of music scores. Sala, the earrings navigated the weak points, and the golden darts swooshed the radio core. Crack, the arc flashed back and forth, and blood rushed to the black edge of his vision, but Qin Feng's eyes widened with a swish, and he roared and followed, Brother Fan's magic lock. Genius filler sound, Mifa, ding ding. The iron strings of the guitar exploded with golden light, and Xin Yu stood up with tears in admiration. The 4 people had a tacit understanding of the combo, buzz buzz, the purple grid, bang, shattered into blue rain, crash, and scattered on the ground, the burnt stench exploded, the gold box, ding dong, trembled slightly and the runes brightened. Qin Feng's mouth jumped wildly in an O shape, his guitar shook his shoulders and he laughed loudly, Brother Fan's earrings are weak, and the combo power grid exploded. The genius has been completely defeated, and now the String King is resurrected, and there is a competition on campus. President Ye Chen cried and fainted in the toilet. He punched Lin Fan, and his humor became so sweaty that he became victorious. Xin Yu hugged her tightly, her beautiful eyes were as adoring as stars, Brother Fan is invincible in resourcefulness. Yuer's numb legs turned into electric blades, sweet redemption. The scent of jasmine filled her nostrils, and her arrogant cheeks were hot against her chest. Sun Wan's pupils shrank, a rare curved lip smile melted like ice, the blood approves. Open the box. The greed in the heart suppressed, and Lin Fan felt happy, slight reversal, fetter lock. But the dong-dong drum sound intensified deep in the earrings, the black shadow approached, and the crisis was not over. The gold box slowly floated and buzzed, and the 5 pages of the ultimate score loomed, but the tentacles instantly exploded with phantom light and boom, and the 4 people's vision was distorted and fell into an illusion. The air turned into a dreamy and sweet fragrance, the ruins turned into the campus playground, and the underground entrance to the back door of Starry Night High School library reappeared, but it was twisted like a broken mirror. The crystal table becomes a library bookshelf, and the ding-ding fragments of musical notes are scattered like flowing fireflies. The scent of old book ink mixed with the sweetness of jasmine is inhaled through the nose, and the ding-dong of the campus bell is mixed with the aftertaste of buzzing in the ears. Lin Fan's heart sank, damn, Ye Chen trapped the illusion. Dream interaction, psychological game, break dreams to get talismans, or will you sink? In the center of the fantasy playground, Xin Yu's dream image emerged, childhood sweethearts, the red scarf era in elementary school, her white skirt fluttering and running after Lin Fan, her laughter ringing like bells, Brother Fan, wait for Yuer. The most handsome boy on campus, Yuer's. Sweet benefits she was full of love, her tender lips pressed against her cheeks, the fragrance of jasmine was pure and bloodless, her little hands clenched, never be separated, adventure is invincible. Lin Fan's heartbeat was dong-dong, and the inner game was, sweet temptation, break or fall. Earrings locked, Meng's weak note is hidden in the ends of her hair. He warmed his blood and caressed Menjing, Yuer, the true bond is stronger than the illusion. The golden light dart swooshed to pick up the talisman and dinged. Meng's sinew transformed into light and merged into her true body. Her true eyes opened with tears of admiration, Brother Fan, recalling the welfare, the god takes the talisman. Yuer's heart beats for you, campus green plum abuses Ye Chen's ambition. Qin Feng's funny self-deprecation broke out in the music room, his chubby boy's guitar string broke and, pop, Ye Chen laughed at, waste genius. The student union will take your place. Qin Feng made a fool of himself, haha, campus competition, I am the king of chickens. The string is broken and my face is green, Vice President Su stepped on me. But Lin Fan laughed wildly in his heart. Brother's humor covers the pain, breaking the situation. Meng's heart lacked the soul cycle when he heard the earrings. He hummed "Sol La," buzz, and the student stuck a dart and shot the string core, ding. Qin Feng stood up and jumped wildly. Brother Fan saves the genius. The self-defeat has been completely defeated. Now the king of iron strings is the boss of the campus music club. Damn, Ye Chen, get out. After getting the talisman fragments, Qin Feng's eyes were blinded and he laughed loudly. Brother Fan's dream has turned into a cool one. After getting the talisman, he complained about the campus president. The student president is ambitious, our legacy is invincible. Sun Wan's dream was rare and gentle. In the ancient flute family inheritance hall, his father's silver-haired figure sealed the relics, Nwaner, keep the ultimate score and save the family bloodline. But Ye Chen's old acquaintance, the man in black robe, reappeared and smiled sinisterly. Sun Wan, transfer student bloodline. The family passed it on to me, and the principal promised power. Her cold eyes flashed with a panic and a smile that melted the ice. An old acquaintance, a betrayer. Lin Fan's earrings captured the conflict of greed and greed in his heart. Shit, Ye Chen brought an old acquaintance. Internal crisis brewing. His psychological game is like a knife twisting. Xin Sun Wan. She is greedy to save her family in the end, but her old acquaintance threatens the team. Hot blood pressure and doubts. The layout is sacrificed. I block an old acquaintance. She takes the talisman. Humming a four-note, buzz buzz, the darts shot the old familiar image with a snap. Sun Wan dreamed with a rare warm smile. Lin Fan, approved. The blood talisman, family inheritance. The talisman fragments flew in, her real body's silver hair fluttered, the cold fragrance of lavender turned warm, and her dark belly curved her lips. The illusion is broken. Your game, the family owes it. The four-note fragments, ding 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 ding, gathered in the palm of his hand. Lin Fan inhaled the student card, buzz, and pieced together the fifth music score fragment, My Fa Sol La. The golden and blue runes lit up. The illusion, bang, shattered like glass rain, crash, the lower level of the ruins reappeared, the crystal platform gold box completely floated, 5 pages of full spectrum pulsating to be retrieved, the honey was sweet and refreshing, and the burnt smell disappeared. But deep in the passage, the dong 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 drum beat like thunder, and a black shadow hid his face. Ye Chen's figure was looming, and an old acquaintance in black robe beside him whispered, Sun Wan, blood betrayal. Sun Wan's eyes flashed in panic, and her heart was locked by the earring. Crisis, a mole. Qin Feng strummed the guitar wildly to celebrate. Ding ding, his eyes lit up. Brother Fan's dreamland strategy. Sweet benefits plus funny self-deprecation plus Queen Sue's smile, magic charm. School competition joke. Ye Chen lost in the fantasy world, let's rush to the core. He shook fists and bumped fists with humor and laughter to cover up the shadows. Xin Yu embraced her sweetly and hugged her tightly, her beautiful eyes sparkling. Brother Fan's childhood sweetheart dreams of welfare, my heart is full of excitement. Yu quickly clears out the inner ghost, and the sisters protect Sun Wan. Jasmine is sweet, and her arrogance turns to dependence. Sun Wan's fingertips on the ancient flute tightened, and the cracks on the ancient flute healed themselves. She nodded rarely, and said in a cold and soft voice, the fifth piece, the ensemble calls for treasure. But old acquaintance. The greed and loyalty in the heart are competing, and Lin Fan's heart is burning. The team sacrifices the plan, and the suspicion is reversed. Charge. The core is waiting. Ye Chen's old acquaintance, brutally explode. Xin Yu's beautiful eyes widened in panic, the blood stains from the needle holes in her white skirt were still wet. Her shadow quickly, swish, around the net to test, her delicate hand touched the edge and, pop, the lightning flashed across her body, she screamed and knelt down and twitched. Brother Fan. Yu is so fast, the electric numb leg is broken. Ye Chen is trapped. Ji specializes in treating the school bell. Yu's skirt is torn, and hot blood turns to ice water. She fluttered arrogantly into Lin Fan's arms. The jasmine fragrance was sweet and greasy but also bloody and salty. Tears rolled down her hot shoulders, her brave eyes were broken into dependent fragments, and her figure was weak and flickering like a candle. The runes in front of the box all lit up, and the four people poured their energy into buzz, buzz dash. The fire and wind exploded in the palms, the iron strings of the guitar penetrated the clouds, the sound waves of the ancient flute melted into gold, and Xin Yu's wind blade loomed like a dragon. But an old acquaintance in the black robe appeared. Hey, Zidian's palm slapped, pop, Ye Chen's drum beat, dong dong, the air became as solemn as lead, and the black clouds filled the sky with danger. Lin Fan roared with passion, Jedi counterattack, ready. Inner monologue, winning the game feels so great. The old acquaintance Zidian swept towards them with a sizzling sound, and the four of them dodged with a swishing sound. The floor tiles were shattered with a clicking sound, and the ink fragrance and dream residue were mixed with the burnt and pungent smell. Lin Fan's heart was filled with pressure. If you hit the bottom again, you will rise up and torture the enemy. The student card is hot, the fifth rune is injected with the fire wind and burns loudly, and the small flame in the palm turns into a fire dragon and swallows the electric palm with a boom. Qin Feng followed up by playing Maifa, ding ding. His old acquaintance's arm was numb with the force of his guitar, and he shouted humorously, the self-defeating genius fights back, old school acquaintance is gone. She smiled sweetly, you are welfare guard, the sweetness is invincible. Sun Wan's ancient flute finally burst out with a high note of ring, 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 and the sound waves of family traditions pierced the core of old acquaintances. She smiled firmly, traitor, cut off. The greed in her heart was fully suppressed, and her loyalty was overwhelming. The gold box slowly opened a gap, and the 5-page music score buzzed out, and the vortex of elements foreshadowed a frenzy of power. However, the black robe of an old acquaintance hit his face. Sun Wan froze, and his cold eyes slit with rare hesitation. He, the traitor of the family tradition. Qin Feng glared to hide his shock. Damn, what's the benefit of the inner ghost? The genius guitar blocked. Combination. Breaking the internal crisis. The golden box buzzed, and the remaining light disappeared. The 5 pages of the ultimate score penetrated into the crystal sound shackles of the four people like living creatures. The heat flow whooshed and pulsed, and went straight to the forehead, and the field of vision exploded with gold and blue. The two elements of fire and wind violently exploded in Lin Fan's palm, and the small flame turned into a fire dragon and circled his arms with a bang. The heat wave twisted the air, and the sweet honey mixed with coke was bitter and tangy. He roared in his heart, fuck, 5 pages of full spectrum are injected, the power is sky high. But the buzz of the earring caught the principal whispering, chess piece, blocked, deep in the ear. The dark clouds have not dispersed, and the black shadow, Sha, is approaching the end of the passage, and the crisis is like a knife hanging on the neck. Crack dash, the old acquaintance's black robe shattered into purple lightning rain. Crack, Ye Chen's drum beat, boom, and retreated away. The echo was awkward. Sun Wan, bloodline. The crisis subsided, the gold box was fully opened, and 5 pages of music scores buzzed and flew into the shackles. The hot current of power whooshes through the body. Lin Fan's dual elements of fire and wind are violent. He can see the golden and blue world, and his heart is full of joy. He is planning wisely and is ready to counterattack. The team's eyes met and their blood was locked, but deep down the principal whispered, chess piece, core blockade. The afterglow of the black cloud, the black shadow surged again, and the reversal is to be continued. Qin Feng played ding ding on the guitar strings to celebrate his victory. The golden light flashed through the clouds and blinded his eyes. His mouth jumped wildly in the shape of an O, and he laughed in a salty and sweaty victory. Brother Fan poured in full spectrum. The genius iron power has been upgraded to penetrate the clouds. The boss of the campus music club is invincible. He has been completely defeated since he was a rookie. Now the String King is torturing Ye Chen and the ambitious ghost. He swung the guitar and hit Lin Fan's shoulders. his humor and trembling covered up the panic in the shadows, and his eyes were as bright as the stars and he was full of admiration. Xin Yu's phantom wind blade whizzed around her like a dragon, her beautiful eyes were full of admiration and she hugged her tightly. The sweet scent of jasmine warmed her chest. Brother Fan, the fire dragon protects the team. Yu's agile dragon blade slashes the sky. Qingmei's dream of welfare will last forever, and the team's sweetness is invincible. But in the depths of the passage, thunderous drum fragments resounded like dong dong dong, and black shadows burst out, whooping. Ye Chen's figure, boomed, appeared in the student union, surrounded by black-robed guards. The fragments of the thunder drum buzzed in the air and pulsated with purple electricity. He laughed sinisterly with his ambitious eyes flashing. The air was as heavy as lead in the lungs, and the burnt stench reappeared with bloody rust. Lin Fan, the poor card has been swiped to the 5th page. Campus trash combo. All the old knowledge of the power grid illusion has been broken. The student president is planning to upgrade, Sun Wan, the descendant of the relics of musical civilization. Give me the key to the bloodline, and the principal promises the revival of the family. He banged the drumstick and swept out the purple electric whip, locking Sun Wan. Sun Wan's silver hair fluttered lightly, the cracks on the ancient flute were all healed, and the high-pitched ring-ring aftertaste echoed. The cold fragrance of lavender turned warm. She rarely curved her lips and smiled, and locked Lin Fan with her cold eyes, full spectrum, all the blood. Lin Fan's game, the family owes it. The greed in the heart was full of loyalty, the sinister belly turned to gentle nodding, the four people's eyes met and locked, and their morale was like a volcano erupting. The team hits rock bottom again. Qin Feng broke half of the guitar strings, his eyes widened and trembled, and he yelled, "Fuck." Queen Su kidnapped the mole to upgrade. The genius string king kneels down, the campus student union turns into a gangster, Ye Chen's ambitious ghost laughs to death. His legs slipped and sat down, his humorous face twisted into a bitter gourd, sweat evaporated and mist hit his nose, and he burst into panic. Xin Yu's beautiful eyes widened in panic, and the phantom wind blade in her white dress, swish, cut through the net, but the electricity came back and snapped, and she knelt down, tears rolling down her shoulders and screaming, "Sister Sun Wan. Yu's dragon blade can't protect her, Brother Fan. Qingmei is desperate, Ye Chen abuses the school bell." She threw herself at Lin Fan, relying on her full score. Jasmine was sweet and bloody, and her bravery was shattered into pieces. Lin Fan's fire dragon blasted to protect his body, and his heart was on fire. Game, fuck, Sun Wan's descendant has been exposed. Principal Ye Chen supports dozens of shadows, the purple power network is upgraded and integrated, and the team is so passionate that it hits rock bottom. Do you believe she will turn against you? Sacrificing one's life to open a huge door for a reversal. Weaknesses of the earring lock. Ye Chen's drum corps lacks the soul rice hair cycle, and the bodyguard's heart is greedy for treasures and is out of order. He yelled angrily with blood pressure, Ye Chen is a bastard, a member of Sun Wan's blood team. If you want to rise first, suppress it, and in a desperate situation, combo to save people. The student card in the palm of his hand buzzed with heat, 5 pages of full spectrum were injected with violent fire and wind, and the Kara Kara pulse appeared at the end of the giant door rune. You need to swipe the card to open the core through blood sacrifice. The black-robed bodyguards rushed towards him with a sinister smile. Hee, the purple electric claws scratched Xin Yu's shoulder and blood spurted out. Wow, Qin Feng's guitar smashed one of the guards away with a muffled bang and broke their bones. They screamed in despair. Lin Fan's inner monologue thundered, sacrifice me to block, plan for counterattack. He swiped his student card fiercely and, buzz, injected his own fire dragon essence and, bang, exploded. The giant door, bang, opened with golden light reaching into the sky. The honey-sweet frenzy filled with ancient music echoed. The ruins trembled and the floor tiles shattered. The heat wave rolled and steamed into mist. However, his chest was tight and blood rushed to the black edge of his vision. The backlash was like thousands of needles burning his heart. He knelt down and groaned, the door, open. Team rush. Sun Wan froze, her cold eyes widened in rare panic. Ye Chen, principal's chess piece, your old acquaintances have joined forces, and your blood is not yours. She tried to block the high-pitched bell of the ancient flute, but the black-robed guards swished and jumped, the purple net instantly it became a cage that snapped around her waist, her silver hair danced wildly and the lavender fragrance broke into pieces. She screamed and groaned, kneeling and twitching, traitor, family legacy. Her heart was captured by the earrings, crisis, the identity of the descendant was exposed, and the family was destroyed. Qin Feng's eyes were swish and he was blinded in ecstasy. The guitar's iron power penetrated the clouds and the golden light, ding 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 ding, was playing wildly to disrupt the enemy formation. The sound wave buzzed and pierced the eardrums of the personal guards and caused blood bursting. The cycle of Sol Mi Fa La was broken, the String King's chaos changed from being defeated, and the campus gangster cried faintly. The guard held his head and rolled to the ground, screaming, ah, his ears were bloodshot, his nose smelled of rust, and he punched Lin Fan with blood, and the guitar strings were as bright as a net covering the enemy. Xin Yu stood up with tears of admiration, her beautiful eyes were shining brightly, the phantom dragon blade sniped and untied, the wind blade slashed the purple grid and shattered, Sun Wan's silver hair escaped from the trap, she threw herself into her arms to escort him, Brother Fan sacrificed his life. Yuer's dragon blade sniper is accurate, and the sisters are invincible to kill the inner ghost. The arrogant smile burns her ears, the sweet scent of jasmine hits her nose, the blood is gone and she becomes victorious, the numbness in her legs turns into an electric blade, and the low-level sound crystals are all healed. The moment Sun Wan turned against the enemy, the ancient flute's high note, ring 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 ring, the sound wave passed down from home melted to the core and pierced the heart, directly locking Ye Chen's drum. Her cold eyes were firm and her curved lips were rare and gentle, Lin Fan, trust me. The blood of my descendants, the guardian team. The cold fragrance of lavender melted and melted, the sinister belly turned into a perfect loyalty, the greed in the heart was turned into ashes, and the 5-page full score was injected into the ancient flute to crack the sky. Ye Chen's ambitious face was distorted and panicked, the thunder drum was beating dong dong wildly to counterattack, and the purple electric whip was sizzling to sweep the 4 people. Sun Wan betrayed. The principal's shadow is blocking you poor people. But the ensemble of 4 people broke out, buzz 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 buzz, Lin Fan's fire dragon swallowed the electric whip with a bang, Qin Feng's iron strings with golden light vibrated and the drum corps cracked with a ding-dong, Xin Yu's dragon blade phantom was like a dragon wrapped around the bodyguard's broken bones, Kara, Sun Wan's high-pitched voice stabbed the heart, Ling Ling, Ye Chen groaned and vomited blood. Qin Feng's mouth trembled in an O shape, his guitar shook his shoulders and he laughed with his eyes bright, Brother Fan's fire dragon plus genius wild play plus Yuer sniper plus Queen Su's rebellion, the main force is defeated in a divine combo. The president of the campus student union has a green face, the self-destructive genius laughs to death, and Ye Chen goes to the toilet. He was full of humor and fist-bumped in a series, and the smell of sweat turned into ecstasy and saltiness. Xin Yu threw herself into Lin Fan's arms and hugged her tightly, her beautiful eyes were full of admiration and her face was scalding, Brother Fan sacrificed his life to open the door to Jishan. Yuer's heart beats wildly, Qin Mei sweetly tortures the enemy, and the team is invincible. Jasmine's sweetness fills the heat, and her arrogant dependence turns to the hot-blooded dragon blade to shine. Sun Wan's silver hair was flying, her ancient flute fingertips were pulsing and her smile melted into the ice, the descendant, approves. Ye Chen, the principal's chess piece has been defeated. She gave a rare nod and locked Lin Fan with her heart, and the warm fragrance of lavender filled her nostrils with loyalty. Lin Fan's heart was filled with joy, if he wants to rise, he should suppress it first, and the bottom will turn around. The fire wind and fire dragon's palm is steady, his earring lock Ye Chen's weak point, soul, is missing, the student card dart, swish, shoots the drum corps, crack, the thunder drum fragments bang, shatter into purple lightning rain, crash, and scatter on the ground, the burnt smell explodes with bloody rust. Ye Chen screamed and retreated, escorting the black shadows and fleeing in embarrassment. Principal, Korban, you can't win. The dong-dong sound in the depths of the passage retreated away, and the echo was despairing. The 5 pages of the ultimate musical score are complete with pulsating energy, golden and blue runes, bright elemental vortexes, buzzing, frenzy, and the heat of power flows through the body and the world is reborn. But at the end of the core behind the giant gate, the Kara rune on the gate flashes the ancient secret totem of the campus, the high school emblem twists the ancient notes and needs a mysterious key to open. The black cloud overwhelms the principal and whispers, "Chess piece, the end." Qin Feng stopped playing the guitar with a ding, his eyes widened and roared, "The whole score is complete." Brother Fan sacrificed his life to combo and abuse Ye Chen's main force. God reversed the campus fantasy, and it was so exciting to play. But the core door, an ancient secret key. The genius has a gossipy family background, and the principal's shadow blocked the joke. He laughed tremblingly and humorously concealed the new crisis. Xin Yu's beautiful eyes turned from fear to admiration, and her heart filled with sweetness. Brother Fan, the leader is invincible. You are escorts, sweetness to the core. Jasmine fragrance is hot. Lin Fan's fire dragon, bang, circled and led the way, the heat wave steamed the air and twisted into a whirlpool, and the aftertaste of honey-sweet mixed ancient music hit the nostrils. The 4 people's footsteps smashed the residue of the floor tiles and rushed towards the core door. The school emblem distorted the ancient musical notes, buzzing, and pulsating with a golden blue halo, like a living creature baring its teeth and claws. The black mist seeping from the cracks in the door was filled with rust and blood. The principal's whisper was like a ghost earring, buzzing, straight into the brain, "The chess piece, the key to the end, the blood is sealed forever." Lin Fan palmed the student card as hot as a soldering iron, and 5 pages of the full score were injected with fire and wind, but it jammed. His inner monologue thundered, "Damn, the door lock is a family bloodline." The principal's black hands are buried deep in the campus, and he attacks and explodes his body. He retreats first to celebrate his achievements and digs for clues. He wants to advance but then suppresses it, and tortures his whole family. Sun Wan locked the door with cold eyes, and played the ancient flute softly. Campus, the bloodline of the principal. Key, family heirloom clue. The heart-blood game started again. Lin Fan's blood locked up, and he laughed wildly in his heart. The climax began, the hook was suppressed, rush. The ancient secret of the campus, torture the principal. The fire dragon, boom, leads the team, and the team is invincible. Qin Feng gently plucked the iron strings of his guitar to explore the sound, widened his eyes and trembled and roared, "Brother Fan, the fire dragon leads the gods." But the school badge of the core gate bites people, the principal's bloodline is old Bai, and the genius string king gossip broke out, Queen Sue's family key. The team first evacuated the dormitory to have a party, torturing Ye Chen and embarrassing the whole school. He threw his shoulder and bumped into Lin Fan in a humorous manner, the smell of sweat was salty in victory, and the golden light pierced the clouds and blinded his eyes. Xin Yu's wind blade phantom swooshed to protect her wings, her beautiful eyes worshipped the water, her face was scalding, and she hugged her tightly. Brother Fan Jishan retreats temporarily. Your dragon blade is on guard, Qingmei's sweet welfare is first supplement, the school supervisor is chasing after you at night, and you pass the test like a coquettish invincible. The Tsundra's cheeks are pressed against her chest, and the jasmine scent of heat waves rises. Sun Wan's silver hair was flying, her ancient flute fingertips played bells to sweep away the dark fog, her cold eyes locked the door and her lips were rarely curved, campus emblem, grandfather's seal. Family transmission lock, requires the morning light school bell to play, do, about the rice cycle starts. Retreat, celebrate, thanks to Lin Fan. The cold fragrance of lavender melts and warms, and the heart is loyal to the team. The 4 people retreat with a tacit understanding. The giant door of Kara Kara disappears, and the black clouds retreat. At night, at the back door of the high school library, the moonlight casts a silvery glow, the underground entrances buzz, invisible runes dissipate, Lin Fan swipes his student card and dip to pretend to be ordinary, the four of them rush out of the grass, sand, the cool breeze and the wet smell of mud hit their faces. In the distance, the school supervisor's flashlight flashed toward him, his footsteps dong-dong like a drum, and Lin Fan's heart sank. Damn, are these small problems the biggest problem? The principal's chess piece is inspected and upgraded, first suppress it and then play it. Xin Yu's beautiful eyes blinked and she turned arrogant. Her white skirt was lightly protected by a whirlwind blade. She threw herself on the school supervisor's arm and acted coquettishly, Uncle your music club practices at night. Qin Feng is stupid and stumbles over a tree. Don't punish her, the school beauty promises to sing tomorrow. The sweet smell of jasmine is fragrant and her watery eyes are heartwarming. Dong swallowed his saliva and shook his hand with the flashlight. Ahem, the school bell has the final say, let's go. President Ye Chen is late for the night party. Ugh, that kid is ambitious. He backed away with weak legs, and watched several students returning from the night under the street lights with wide eyes and whispered, the school bell is invincible. Qin Feng pretends to be a god, and the music club is awesome. Qin Feng's eyes lit up and he was full of wit. His guitar strings dinged to pretend to be a prop of the campus music club. He pulled his tie and pretended to be a drunkard and humored, Brother Fan, look at the genius. Uncle Superintendent, String King pretends to be a night piano practice club, Yuer's coquettish blessing, a sign of abuse for Ye Chen. He swung his guitar and hit the tree with a muffled bang, pretending to trip on the rolling green, sweat evaporating and mist hitting his nose, his mouth trembling with O-shaped laughter. The boys' dormitory building was brightly lit, the air was filled with sweet cream and bitter beer foam, and more than a dozen passers-by in the music club were partying. Lin Fan pushed the door, bang, and the heat wave hit his face. Qin Feng's guitar, ding ding ding, wildly played, ding ding ding, to celebrate the victory. The crowd screamed and gathered around, Brother Fan has won the hand with the full score. Ye Chen's student union gang has retreated, and the campus legend music club is invincible. Qin Feng's mouth trembled in an O shape and laughed, swinging his guitar and bumping into Lin Fan, listen, brothers. Brother Fan sacrificed his life to open the giant door, the fire dragon opened, Ye Chen's purple power grid was upgraded and all the disabled guards were destroyed, the drum corps crackled with purple lightning and rained on the ground, the ambitious ghost fled in panic, you can't win if the principal blocks you, self-defeating the genius String King fainted, and the campus boss was replaced. Passers-by's eyes were wide open, and beer was spilled on the wet ground. Some people knelt down and worshipped, Brother Fan, the fire dragon god. Ye Chen went to the toilet and cried for his mother. Lin Fan's fire dragon kept his palms warm, but his heart was filled with excitement, even a small crisis can be avoided, and the team's tacit understanding is perfect. He was passionate about Qin Feng Quan, the king of strings is witty, Yuer is cute and killer, dormitory party, celebrating and complaining about Ye Chen's misery. Sun Wan's cold eyes and curved lips gave a rare chuckle, the ancient flute was put into her arms, the warm fragrance of lavender melted into the ice, and she kept up with the pace. Sun Wan's silver hair fluttered and blended into the circle. The ancient flute, Ling Ling, played the family melody and the melody was warm. The cold fragrance of lavender turned to honey. She rarely curled her lips and nodded to passers-by, descendants, guarded by the team. Ye Chen's traitor was defeated. The principal's bloodline clue, the school emblem on the back of the old wall of the dormitory, Mingguang's work. About Mark. The passers-by stared and trembled and yelled, the cool master melted the ice, the four gods of the music club tortured the whole school, and the principal's shadow was a joke. Qin Feng's eyes lit up and he hit Sun Wanchuan, the genius has a family background, and the concubine turned out to be a blast. The beer bubbles went down, and the bitterness turned into ecstasy. At the climax of the party, Lin Fan's inner monologue, if you want to rise, you must first suppress the bottom and reverse, and the full spectrum of energy is injected into the golden and blue whirlpool world to be reborn. The student card in his palm is buzzing hot, the earrings capture the admiration of passers-by, and the heart pulse is bursting with adoration. The fire, wind and fire dragon are as steady as a mountain. Xin Yu's legs were weak and she cuddled up, Sun Wan's eyes were gentle, and Qin Feng was humorous and self-deprecating and complained about Ye Chen. The purple electric whip swallowed the fire dragon, the drum was broken into slag, and the wolf escape passage was filled with despair. The ambitious ghost on campus regretted it and cried blindly. Passers-by laughed and smelled the smell of beer in confusion. The air in the dormitory was filled with sweet heat waves, and the celebration morale was like a volcano erupting. Xin Yu hit Lin Fan with full marks for welfare. Her beautiful eyes and stars adored the water and her ears were heated, and her white skirt clung to her hot chest. Brother Fan, the leader is invincible. Yuer's childhood sweet celebration, massaging her shoulders, the dream of welfare continues, her heart beats. She kneaded it with her little hands. The scent of jasmine is sweet and tangy, and the arrogant whispers are hot in the ears. Passers-by's nosebleeds are ticking and they are shouting, the school beauty welfare god. Brother Fan's luck in love is incredible, and the team bond is so sweet. Lin Fan roared in his heart, he feels so good, Yuer relies on him for full marks. Returning to the underground of the back door of the library, the passage sands, the remains of the honeycomb, the giant door booms, with a swipe of the card and opens to the sky with golden light. The echo of ancient music is filled with honey-sweet frenzy, and 4 people rush to the core end. The school emblem of the ancient secret gate is distorted and the ancient musical notes buzz brightly, the key snaps embedded in the crack, gears rotate, the black mist explodes, the rust is bloody, and the nose is full of blood. But the shadows in front of the door whooshed, the 5 black-robed guards of Ye Chen's remnant party appeared with a sinister smile. The purple electric claws were upgraded and merged with the principal's black shadow. His heart flashed with despair and he roared, President Ye Chen's final order. The poor are all wiped out, and the principal's shadow blocks the core. Sun Wan's bloodline is deprived. The power grid snapped and locked the 4 people, the air was heavy with lead, and the air was thick with lead, and the smell of burnt blood and rust filled the sky. The team hits rock bottom again. Qin Feng broke 2 guitar strings, his eyes widened and his legs were trembling. Fuck. The last trick of Ye Chen's remnant gang. The black shadow merges with the purple net god level, and the string king kneels down to take revenge on the campus gang. His humorous face twisted into a bitter gourd, sweat evaporated and the mist exploded in panic. Xin Yu's wind blade, swish, cut off the electricity and backfired and popped, and knelt down. Her beautiful eyes were filled with panic and tears burned her shoulders as she screamed, Brother Fan. Yuer's dragon blade is shattered, Qing Mei is in despair, the remnant gang abuses the school beauty. Jasmine is sweet, bloody and salty, and her bravery and broken dependence are perfect. Sun Wan's ancient flute's high-pitched bell blocked the shadows, but her pulse was turbulent, and her cold eyes were slitted with rare stiffness. Principal, the final chess piece. The blood of the descendants is in danger. The golden glow of splashing syrup appeared in the morning light. Lin Fan led the team to darken the old wall of the dormitory, and Sun Wan's ancient flute, ling ling ling, played, do. Rice circulated, the kara carved on the back of the school badge appeared, the hidden note buzzed, pulsed off, and the warm fragrance of lavender hit her nostrils. She curled her lips with cold eyes, start the family tradition. Go to the core, the ending of the principal, violent explosion. The team's blood locked, Qin Feng's guitar, ding, ended with ecstasy, the key is in hand. Brother Fan takes the lead, the string king is invincible. Lin Fan fire dragon, boom, protects body, inner heart burns gambling, damn, remnant party black shadow upgrades to suppress the top. Earring locks weakness, black shadow lacks soluble me fa, heart pulse circulation, guard team greedily for treasure in disorder. Student card flying dart, whoosh whoosh, shoots nucleus, 5 pages full spectrum injects fire wind violently, buzz 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 buzz, erupts. He roars wildly, Ye Chen bastard remnant party, team invincible combo, desire to rise first suppress, desperate situation bounces to heaven and abuses explosion. Fire dragon swallows electric net, boom, twists air heat wave steam sweat into fog, honey sweet crazy tide mixed with charred bitter. Qin Feng wildly joyfully stands up, guitar iron force pierces cloud golden light, ding 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 ding, wildly plays lacking circulation breaks nucleus, sound wave, buzz buzz, stabs guard eardrum bursts blood, huala nose rusty iron smell, his mouth O-shaped trembles and laughs, fan bro fire dragon opens the way. Genius string king supplements soluble me fa, to abuse black shadow, divine reversal remnant party cries faint, campus gang all exterminated. Guard hugs head rolls on ground miserably howls, ah ah, ears blood thread spray broken bones, kala, he crashes into Lin Fan's fist with hot blood explosion, eyes blinded bright with full worship. Xin Yu worships with teary light electric blade agile explosion, beautiful eyes stars stands up dragon blade virtual shadow, whoosh 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 whoosh, continuous slashes black robe shreds cloth blood sprays, hua, she pounces into embrace tightly hugs arrogantly smiles hot ear, fan bro fire dragon wisdom god. You are snipers remnant party invincible, childhood sweetheart sweet welfare heart moves explosion, team sisters abuse principles pawn. Jasmine sweet honey fragrance pounces nose blood stench disperses victory salty, low-level sound crystal, buzz, fully heals. Sunwon turns against family tradition high pitch, ling 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 ling, melts nucleus stabs heart locks black shadow, directly breaks principles whisper, her silver hair flies rarely gentle curves lips, Lin Fan. Keeps faith. Descendant sound lock, all exterminated. Lavender warm fragrance explodes fusion, ancient flute cracks empty pulse full loyalty. Four people play together ultimate, buzz 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 buzz, Lin Fan fire dragon swallows black shadow, boom boom, Qin Feng golden light shakes electric net, ding dong pa cha, Xin dragon blade entangles guard shatters bones, kala kala, soon one high pitch stabs leader heart pulse, ling ling, muffled hum spits blood kneels. Remnant party leader ambition face twists in despair regret, purple electric claw, Z, shatters into slag, Huala, sprinkles ground, his trembling voice breaks, Ye Chen. President wrong. Principal black shadow. Poor people invincible. Spare life. Eyes glare round fear wildly jumps, nose blood rusty iron smell pounces, crawls back into passage deep echoes despair. Passerby music club hears news rushes to library back door glares round worships wildly roars, fan bro four gods combo. Remnant party last trick shatters into purple electric rain, Ye Chen gang all exterminated campus legend, music club top worships invincible. They kneel, dong dong, heads hit ground, beer aftertaste salty bitter mixes victory heat wave, worship heart pulse earring captures explosion. Lin Fan inner heart refreshingly explodes bounces to heaven, full book most refreshing, thoroughly crushes. Fire wind steadily holds palm, key pulse big door, kala, fully opens, gold blue vortex crazy tide rushes to sky, campus ancient secret totem greatly brightens, ancient music civilization principle bloodline truth emerges. But deep whisper restarts, final bureau. True treasure, heat flow runs through body vision rebirth, team hot blood locks tightly rushes in. Qin Feng wildly laughs, core opens. Fan bro abuses principle beginning, divine reversal campus fantasy. Xin Yu sweetly pounces into embrace, Sun Wan gently nods, hook suppresses new crisis, true final bureau bounces to heaven. Hall air heavy as lead presses lungs, for walls ancient runes, flash flash, pulse gold blue light halo, central crystal altar, buzz buzz, floats ultimate music score remnant page fragments 5 pieces scatter, mixed purple electric residue, ZZ, afterlight twist space. Suddenly, altar deep black shadow, hoo surges up, Ye Chen final defense line activates. Principal projection sinisterly laughs, twists into giant purple electric sound beast, boom, roars, fuses drum remnant nucleus and black robe guard soul, electric net, pa-cha, instantly spreads full hall, rusty blood stench fog steams, beast eyes ambition flashes low roars, Ye Chen. Dying blood oath. Poor people forever sealed, true treasure principal bloodline solely swallowed, soon one deprived, Lin Fan fire dragon shattered slag. Electric claw, ZZ, sweeps air cracks, ground bricks, kala, explode shards like rain, team footsteps stagnate valley bottom again suppressed. Ancient secret door, kala, gear aftersound dissipates, gold blue vortex like living dragon flips and pounces, heat wave mixed ancient music rhythm, buzz, directly drills eardrum, honey sweet sticky fuses rusty iron charred bitter pounces nose. Lin Fan footsteps, pa, steps on broken ground bricks residue leads rush into core hall, fire dragon introverted palm hot, music earring captures whisper, final bureau. True treasure, like ghost haunts brain, his inner monologue thunder roars, damn, principal bloodline truth emerges ancient music civilization totem greatly brightens, Ye Chen remnant party all exterminated still hides final defense line. Team locks tightly. First suppress valley bottom then bounces to heaven and abuses explosion. Qin Feng guitar iron string, ding, breaks root after sound trembles, eyes glare round legs soft wildly roars, fan bro. Ye Chen bastard final boss projection black shadow sound beast god level, purple electric net sublimates drum soul suppresses top, string king genius kneels, but full spectrum fragments on altar, fight while reading to abuse it. Combo. Oh. Xinu's legs were soft and her arms were full of benefits. Her beautiful eyes and stars worshipped her and she whispered in her ears, Brother Fan's ultimate charge is invincible. Yu protects her sweet escort, and her heartbeat is overwhelming, Qingmei's welfare massages her shoulders, and her dream continues as the campus queen. Her small hands kneaded the sweet and greasy heat of jasmine, her white skirt fluttered the low-level sound crystal and buzzed her peripheral vision, and her arrogant cheek was pressed against her chest. Passers-by's nosebleeds were sprayed and they roared, the school beauty's welfare skills. The team bond is so sweet, Brother Fan's peach blossoms are heaven-defying. Soon Wan's silver hair lightly fluttered into the air, and the ancient flute, Ling Ling, played the family legacy with a warm aftertaste. Her coolness turned to warm and curved lips and she gave a rare chuckle, the puzzle is completely solved. I owe it to Lin Fan. The blood descendants guard the team, and the palace of true treasures is opened. The warm fragrance of lavender hit her nostrils and melted the ice, and she nodded with fragments of eye locks, the campus has changed, and the truth about the principal has been spread. The morning bell on campus rang loudly. Students buzzed and talked outside the back door of the library, and the live broadcast of mobile phone ding ding went viral. In the core hall of the four gods of the music club, Ye Chen's defense line was finally broken, and the ancient secret of the principal's bloodline was revealed. Lin Fan pushed open the camouflaged entrance and hit his face with the cool wind and the wet smell of mud. The four people rushed out of the grass and swish, and the school supervisor backed away with a swish and red legs. Brother Fan is the magic team. School beauty Yu takes the lead, the music club is invincible, Ye Chen, get out, the principal's shadow is a joke. The passers-by onlookers stared at each other and yelled and knelt down, fire dragon leader. The ultimate score is here, a new era of campus fantasy. After the hall calmed down, the team handled trivial matters with ease. Lin Fan swiped his student card, Didi, to scan the rune map to expand the school's underground network. Qin Feng's guitar, Ding, recorded the ultimate score demo for the Bagua live music community. Xinu's wind blade, Swish, cleaned up the purple electricity residue, and Sun Wan's ancient flute, Bell, sealed the remaining soul of the projection. Passers-by gathered around to worship the carnival. The air was filled with sweet heat waves, cakes, cream, beer foam and bitterness were mixed. Brother Fan is famous as the best in the campus. The Ye Chen gang in the student union has collapsed, the music club is full of new recruits, and both status and treasures have been gained. The party in the boys' dormitory continued, with bright lights and a heat wave hitting their faces. Hundreds of people in the music club roared cheers and shook the floor. Qin Feng wildly played Ding 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 to celebrate the victory. The golden light flashed blindly, brothers. Brother Fan collects all the pieces, and the status treasure is thrown to the sky. The campus has changed, and the principal's blood clues have been dug up and exploded. Passers-by spilled beer on the wetland, and some people trembled and worshipped. Queen Su melts the ice gently. The charm of the team is invincible, and the reputation will last forever. The fragments of the ultimate music score in Lin Fan's palm buzzed and combined into 5 pages. The light began to shine. The golden and blue vortex pulsating heat flowed through the body and his vision was reborn. His inner monologue was extremely refreshing. The world has changed because of me, and all the treasures of fame, status and treasure have been collected. The fire, wind, fire, and dragon are stable, and the team is locked in passion. But the light of the score is getting louder. Buzz, buzz, buzz dash. The final performance gathers momentum, and the whispers in the depths reappear. True treasure, reveal everything. The golden light of the morning fills the hall with the aftermath, and the new crisis is faintly suppressed. Get ready to play. The campus fantasy is dancing to the sky. The boys' dormitory was brightly lit. The heat wave hit my face like a furnace. The beer foam splashed on the floor and stuck to the floor, and the cake cream was sweet and mixed with the smell of sweat and salty taste that penetrated my nose. Hundreds of people in the music club shouted, cheers, cheers, and shook the floor with dong dong dong, and the mobile phone live broadcast, ding ding ding, went viral and the barrage flooded the screen. Brother Fan's team tortured the shadow of the principal. Qin Feng strummed the guitar wildly, ding ding ding, and the aftertaste was blinded by golden light. His eyes lit up like light bulbs and hit Lin Fan's shoulder, laughing wildly, Brother Fan. The 5 pages of the ultimate music score were all closed, and the palms of his hands were buzzing and gaining momentum. The campus underground network scan was fully opened. Ye Chen's remnant soul cried and fainted. All the gangs were wiped out, and the music club bossed the big status Dantian live broadcast has 100,000 fans. The humor is self-deprecating, the beer nozzle trembles in the O shape, and passers-by spray out nosebleeds and shout in admiration. The genius of the String King leads the ensemble. The fragments are awesome while fighting. Fan Gu, the leader of the fire dragon, is invincible. Xin Yu's legs were weak and Lin Fan hugged her tightly. The white skirt was hot pressed against her chest, and the sweet scent of jasmine melted into her nostrils. Her nose was filled with sweat. Her beautiful eyes were worshipped by the stars, and her ears were heated by the water. She was arrogant and coquettish. Brother Fan is celebrating the victory. Full marks for welfare. Ye Chen massages her shoulders and legs, and her heartbeat is overwhelming and overwhelming. The school bell's status is doubled, and her dreams are sweet. Continue to be the queen of the campus. The little hands kneaded the heat flowing through the body, the ghost of the wind blade flashed, and the low-level sound crystal, buzzed, completely healed the scratches. The passers-by jumped and knelt down with wide eyes. The campus beauty is so cute. Brother Fan, the team bond is so sweet that the nose bleeds. Xin Yu threw herself into Lin Fan's arms and hugged her arrogantly and coquettishly. Brother Fan's aftermath is full of benefits. Yuer's childhood sweetheart, the school beauty's status has been promoted. Massage her legs to soften her. The sweetness continues. The jasmine-scented ears are hot, and passers-by admire the nosebleed. Tick-tock, the god of peach blossom luck. Sunwon rarely blended into the circle, playing the ancient flute, ling-ling, with a warm family melody, her silver hair flying in the air and nodding. Guardian of the palace, the team is eternal. The scent of lavender honey filled the nostrils, and passers-by's eyes exploded. The bond between the sisters of the stunning masters, the mystery of the campus is solved. Oh. Combo. Oh.